Check our time, that way we know. Okay, so at about 3 a.m. 3 a.m. is when a little bit before 3 a.m. is when Arbor's gonna be starting to get sleepy. Okay. Check the phone. No messages. Maybe. What should I do today? Did work really hard. I studied all day yesterday. So maybe today I should do something different. Wonder if anybody's awake. Shouldn't be too late. No? Maybe it's just a quiet day? Be nice. Doesn't look like there's anybody in here. Maybe during the next wake up period I'll should bring Alex in. Let them stretch their wings. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Oh.
Hey, Arbor.
Hi. Is everything okay?
Good. Had just a weird interaction, and where I went was still the craziest place I will ever still go to.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were saying here.
Everything's fine. It wasn't a bad thing. It was just a really, really weird.
Oh. Okay, well.
Let's just say I guess I have a niece and nephew.
Over? What?
Weird timey-wimey bullshit of dimensions and stuff. Let's just say I do have a niece
My
and
magic
nephew
is
for that.
forbidden.
Yeah, I know. They're from a different place entirely, though. And it was weird.
Then how are they your...
Because their dimension, it's kind of
Did your brother
different.
have kids?
No, not this place's brother. Another person's brother, apparently. Dimension shit's still weird, and I'm still trying to get over that. Read a book.
Yeah,
I'm
reading
just-
is a
it's-
fundamental skill.
Yes, it is. I haven't been doing it much, but I do it on a very rare occasion. But it's not really been any magic books or anything lately.
I guess that's understandable. I mean, do you do a lot of magic?
Yeah,
I thought you fight with a sword.
I at least.
Like, I know
do
you do
both,
like fire
actually.
stuff, but you don't seem to do it. Like, you're not like a wizard or something where they like. You're not like what was that guy's name? Silas?
Yeah, I'm not like Silas with that kind of stuff, but I know some at least basic spells, and it's always good to learn about some types of magic to see what you can, you know, if you know what it is, you might be able to figure it out.
Oh,
Heck, it's brushing
Okay.
up on basic knowledge. It's pretty good.
I guess. Yeah, I guess that's always good to make certain you know the basics.
Yeah. I know a couple cantrips too that are not fire related, so. Oh, like that's a
Okay.
bad thing.
Or wait, isn't that like
Uh,
the spells? Those are spells, right?
Mhm.
Okay,
They're
and
basic
they're
spells
that are
Anyone
simple.
can learn. Basic spells that anyone can really learn, and they can be very, very handy for
I didn't
basic
think anybody could
necessities.
learn them because I know there's like some that like some people can't do because there's like
Well,
different
yeah.
kinds of magic.
Some people can't do magic, but to those who can, it's like the thing you can start out with. It's like,
me.
you know, to get you pre. Well, hello, dear.
Well, that isn't.
Hello.
That's very different then because if he can't do magic, then he can't do cantrips, which means he can't learn them.
No, and that's why it's for those who are very attuned with magic. It's more like, okay,
You're
think
not
of it like a
making much
dummy
sense.
guide. I'm trying to explain, but it can be very difficult to it.
I think I'll stick to the books.
Only things
That
I
would
can
be
do is
more
rituals because
wise.
it doesn't use my own.
Really? That's the only thing you can do?
Well, yeah, because it doesn't use my own magic. It uses surrounding areas.
Right.
But of course, you know, it adds on an extremely long amount of time to do it, so.
Time and usually. Does it take energy to do it, or just concentration?
Concentration, consistent.
Time.
So if I break concentration, a lot of time, so. Depending on how long a normal spell would take, you can probably add on between 15 to 30 minutes extra for me to be able to cast that spell when someone else could probably cast it by themselves right away because they know the spell. Because they have access to it. For me, I'd have to
True.
read books, learn how the spell works, figure out the components, and then if it's the type of spell that I can cast ritually, I can do the slow method. Doesn't cost me any mana. I just pull it from the surrounding area, but that's what takes it so long.
True, and that still means you can some semblance of magic. Not like the proper. Some people can cast it because it's sometimes innately a thing. It's just.
Like me.
Exactly. What the heck?
I
we'll
draw
summon
my power
Arbor.
from my deity, so
Hmm.
holy magic.
Oh,
Gotta love
okay.
I think I've drawn most of mine from the weave.
I need you.
Yes. Okay, for what exactly?
Come on a field trip.
Oh, well, I already went on a field trip today. Why not another one?
Pretty much.
What kind?
An adventure.
Oh.
Not just a walk
okay.
through the forest.
Sounds like a date.
I wouldn't
Potentially.
be surprised if he is a date.
We'll make a date of it.
Okay, then I'm alright with this.
Like, it's the 12th. That's a date.
Did he just make that joke?
He did.
Ugh.
There's not a lot of people up right now, it seems. Though I haven't checked
No,
the training
not
room.
really.
It's possible that there's like 12 people in there. Half of them just like sitting and watching someone else train or spar. People do that a
I just
lot.
went in there before I met you, and it was completely empty.
Really? Oh. Wow.
Really.
Huh.
I think people are just sleeping in today.
Why would they do that?
They stayed up late the night before. They don't have anything to do, so they figure why not sleep more. They're just generally tired.
Hmm.
But maybe in the time that we've been standing here talking with Saya, maybe people have gotten up and gone in there.
Maybe? Oh.
Hello, hello.
Oh, hello.
Nothing changes. Hello, Arbor.
Hi.
Zmira. Introduce.
Hi, I'm Samira, Knight of Elysium, Claret, wielder of Pledge of the Sky. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Luke Graves, Azamar of Asil, god of healing and...
You're an Asmar as well.
Mm-hmm.
Explain. I'm also an Asmar.
Oh, neat. Been meeting a lot since I come here.
I'm sure that's going to be the most of them that you'll meet. Well, unless any other ones fall down from the sky.
That doesn't happen all that likely.
Sadly, no. Not anymore, at least. Anyways, we were going to head into the training grounds pretty soon. I'm going to test her out again.
Oh.
was just actually about to double check. Before it wasn't, but now maybe still empty.
No, actually, there is someone in there. Her name is Shiro. She's new here.
Oh, the one with the giant weapon. Yes.
She's in
woman from
here.
before.
Or in there. I didn't want to bother her. She looks like she's really focused, so I didn't want to like stare.
I guess we'll just see how it's working in there. I mean, it's training room after all, right? People should share. I did want to ask her a question about that weapon.
Oh. It's good to see you too again. Meet you.
Mm-hmm. You need a lot more Asmars than I was expecting to, but hey, that's probably a good thing.
I don't want to sound rude when I say it, but what's an Azamar?
It's a person who has divine heritage, and it manifests itself from a person type of thing. So I'm related to a angel or deity.
So wait, so you're like an angel person, but without the wings?
For now, yes. Apparently I should be able to manifest wings eventually, but for now I'm still fairly new to coming into my heritage.
So it's... I'm not gonna ask that question. It's like puberty, I guess. Maybe? I guess I get the gist of it. You're like an angel person, but not quite yet.
I'm an angel person, just baby angel person right now.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
No problem.
I should probably make certain that Zeke doesn't hurt anybody, because Medic is supposed to be in there, and the past few times he's
Well,
been
they're
okay,
sparring.
but I've seen him hurt himself and others before.
And yeah, medic should probably get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Strike red.
Oh.
Good. Blue. Green. Dark blue far right. White. A little off. Purple. Top center. Yellow. Top center. Little off. Yellow. Top center. Good shot. How do you feel?
I feel fine. For now.
Guess that's magic.
Do pretty much of this and I'll get pretty tired.
Yeah, same as me tossing for boulders. Let's put a little more magic, a little more oomph into it. Increase its speed.
wondering.
Hit
She
the
can't be.
bottom centers. Green,
She's not as
blue.
dangerous as
Oh, dark blue.
Rock Guy, but
Red. Yellow, white, purple.
I can't do it that fast. I said I can't do it that fast. I'm not like a machine gun or anything.
Yes, I know. I'm aware of that.
Mhm.
Purple. Good. What are the spells you have at your disposal besides the altering ones?
What?
Not much else. I know. I mainly just focused on that and healing. And then now.
Oh, yes. Do you know if he can cast his abilities on you if you're wearing them?
We haven't tried. Due to being scared that I'd suffocate. Although he has an ability to emit a barrier that's outside of him and more certain.
I was just wondering because his spell is similar to mine.
Yeah, we haven't tried that
You're able-
technically.
We could try little bits at a time and see if it works. I don't know if you ever tried in the academy, but it's always good to know little limits in what you can and can't do.
I'm more so focused on my healing abilities. And then that.
You always were. It's perfectly fine now.
Excuse me.
And also the drain that taking
Yes.
more out.
How do you do that? You like just disappear like that and reappear somewhere else.
Kind of like
Mhm.
It is,
Magic, right? Oh,
Strong as ever.
I suppose you could say that.
Are you talking about how strong he is?
I will not lie, it is
Eh?
a bit fun
I
to use
guess the only thing
sometimes.
that's ever broken
I-
My apologies again if I startle you.
it's okay. I get
It's fine. I'm not-
startled easily, anyways. So
My aim is
Oh.
not
you don't have to
though.
disappear to
Hard
do that. To be fair.
Well, that's
Yeah,
why I
how
had
do you?
snipers.
Go for red.
So how do you do that? Is that like a magic spell or
Try
something?
to aim for the circle. Green,
I have
green.
the ability to step back into my
Dark blue.
home plane.
Hello.
Getting the lift is
But seeing
There you go.
I'm not
seeing
as
as the
familiar with
That was fun.
magic, or planes for that matter.
Enough. Red.
Where and how does that work?
I am from the spirit world.
Blue.
And
Wait,
seeing
like-
as the spirit world is
Like dead people,
parallel,
if I shattered in time.
spirit world,
I'm off by my mark.
like ghosts?
Green.
there are some of those in there, yes.
So wait, are you a ghost?
Yellow.
I am an Oni.
Oh.
I was one
Ah.
there.
Oh.
You're the first Oni I've ever met, and I've never heard of Onis before either. I'm new to a lot
I
of
find
things.
that slightly surprising because, to my understanding, red and blue cousins are much more common,
I don't
especially
need to
in
hit my target,
the material plane.
especially when I send shrimp over marks.
I'm really tired. See, you took more boulders than that without having any issue.
Maybe,
Yes, I know.
actually, now that I think about it, I think there might have been.
Snipe type, but I did get some sniper.
He looked kind of like you, except he was like way taller than you.
We tried
Like-
some good stuff, but didn't
Like he
really
kind of
matter.
towered over me. But he was all red.
I had somebody already
But he had horns, sort of like you do.
That was the girl that
He didn't
The
tell me
Aka Oni
if he was
are
you know they are, right?
Oni. I didn't.
Aka Oni are the tallest of our kin.
Maybe you just need a little bit of Elysium.
In the middle are the Ao Oni, or Blue Oni, and my kind are the Shiro Oni.
So there's red, blue, and white.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Very familiar.
And you're all from the same place? Where ghosts go? Ghosts are real. right?
Originally,
I
yes, but
so.
red and blue cousins have since migrated away from our home, and it has been this way for a very long time.
Okay.
The Shiro Oni are the only ones that still reside within the spirit world, or I suppose the
So wait, you like sort of
ethereal
like
plane.
just suddenly teleport to the other place and then you teleport back?
It is a bit more complicated, seeing as the spirit world is layered over top the physical world.
Huh? I
When I step
Don't
back into
understand, I'm
the
sorry.
spirit world,
Oh, that's new.
think of it like a copy.
Never walked through them.
so wait, there's like a duplicate of everything
Unpredictable.
there?
More or less. It is slightly different,
I
but
can get out of a jam
when I step back into there,
really quickly.
Oh, that's
Hmm.
over here.
I can still hear and see you as if I was still next to you.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yes, it is very. The
That's
nature of it.
interesting, but I guess I don't fully understand it.
That one's made out of pure magic.
There's a lot of things,
arcane.
but I wanted to ask because
There's
it was
nothing to pull
it
from
seemed
in this area,
interesting.
so it makes it hard for me to
I wasn't
cast
sure if it was like magic or something else.
That explains it.
I suppose it is a form of magic.
You okay?
I'm fine.
Hmm.
You want to rest a moment?
Probably should, yeah.
So you said
Yeah, I
it's
could
like
use some
different there. Can you just do that, but rather than coming back here, you just stay
Not
there,
too,
or
rusty from you. Consider you were just doing some odds and ends jobs.
It
right?
is a bit more difficult to travel there permanently,
Shelter for a
Much
few days.
energy.
but I can step into the border between the physical world and the spirit world.
I would
When I am
assume so, yes.
when I am in that form, I can perceive both at the same time.
I mean, I
so
don't
it's
wanna
like
push
being
you.
on both sides of a fence?
I don't want to push you. You
Mhm.
seem rather tired.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
Tired,
And you're just kind of walking on top of the fence instead of
I decide.
on either side, but you're sort of on both sides.
Really only making it seem.
In a way, yes.
Okay, now I've kind of confused myself again.
Probably still from fighting that ice bitch. Ice witch. Ice witch.
Rude.
I did not say which.
Look, she sick to drag it on me. I can say whatever I want at that point.
Sorry.
Pressing is wrong and you know that. Please try.
So wait, what is it like there? You said it's like a copy, but not?
Not to me. You know how to.
It is hard to describe. The physical landscape is the same. I can walk around.
I apologize
However,
for
things
my
that
harsh
are
language.
things that have been put here by
Unnecessary.
man artificially. Buildings, individuals. They are not
Well, you did help me.
there as a copy,
take
which
me
means I can pass through them.
down. Good knockout by your shields. Yes.
Ah, I still need to talk to him about
So wait, you
that.
can just like walk through walls?
Yes, that was quite aggressive, even for me.
So it's like a ghost? So wait, does everything in the spirit world, can they all, can
That's a question
all of you
for
do that? Like walk through walls and stuff? Do you
To my
have
understanding.
buildings?
Not him.
I'm not trying
Yes,
to
we have
be
villages and we
difficult,
have homes. However, when we are in
Even
the spirit
subconsciously.
world proper, it is
but my
much more
intentions
similar
are
to the physical world.
Although,
What?
well, if you did absolutely
Okay.
give me a chance.
I-
So,
Do you know what
but
you're
we
capable
can't.
of?
Can
That entire
can we
area
see those
used to
places, or
be,
are we like walking through the walls
I'm
there?
a victim of something. Yeah, she made a bad mistake getting the situation she was.
To my understanding,
There was no more
most
last chance.
most individuals from the physical world are not in tune with the spirit world enough to be able to interact.
You helped me with the purification.
Oh.
Even then, we weren't able to fully purify that. You
I think I
were
get it.
useless. We did try. I even had you help me on a whim.
I mean,
For
well,
example, my companion Rika, if she focuses, she is somewhat able to still sense me and see me in some circumstances when I am there.
Yes, but we sent her so
So she
However, she
can
is still working on
like,
that.
see into it and like kind of
tried to help her before she
hear
was
and
fine.
sort of
The
like
next
she's
one
sort
we
of there
do,
but not
I
quite.
will Hold my blade.
Not the
If I
spirit world
shout, it's
proper.
on you.
However, she can sense my presence, seeing as I am on
I'll
the
be the one
border.
doing it, so if anyone gets hurt,
Oh, so it's like you're not, since you
I
haven't
hope
completely
it'll be me.
passed to the other side of the fence, she can kind of sense you walking along the top of the fence.
I'll show you what I can do.
That makes sense, sort of.
The next mission we have that's bigger is an exorcism shop. This
Oh,
one is a pure demon. We are not questioning it. We are going to erase him.
Demons are to be sent back home. I understand. There's no fixing that.
The soul purification afterwards, you can help me with. There are a lot of trapped ones that were left by.
Mm.
As my connection to the holy has been weakened as of late, I would like to request your help.
I'll do what I can, and perhaps I can also try to get your connection to the Holy of Light better.
It'll come back. It's fluctuating. I
See
just
what
need
praying
to.
does, man. As you said, you could
Fine.
start trying. Be
I did,
surprised how
yes,
much
I
it helps.
If you will excuse me, one moment.
Okay.
We get our power and such from them. And if you refuse to talk to them, then you won't have
Hmm.
anything. Is that not incorrect?
No, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Ariel. At least I still have somewhat of that power.
There's more than just art.
I know there is. I just.
Mm.
I trust her right now more than others.
Mm. I'm not sure if there's a place to discuss. There are some things I would like to say to you on that topic.
Fine. I
Are
understand.
you done? I wouldn't want to take up the space we're not using yet. I do suggest that you rest.
Oh,
Ariel,
didn't even hear you.
heed my call. I pray to thee. Feel nature and the elements, and allow me to stabilize my mind.
I would be surprised if you did.
Yeah, I guess what you said earlier, I guess I'm not in tune at all.
It simply requires meditation and training.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of
Right
training?
now you need more than just bombing.
I know.
Not so much of the physical kind. Training of the mind.
Oh.
I'll do more meditations when I can.
You could ask Rika. She is
Mm-hmm.
right in the middle of
And
her journey
make a
through
prayer
this.
to the greater one.
Oh.
I guess.
Maybe.
Do that much.
Meditation takes a lot of
Which
time though,
one was
doesn't it?
yours again?
I suppose so, but
after
that is the
you were
point.
asleep for a long time.
When you are truly in tune with your mind and
Also,
spirit,
um,
you do not notice the
If,
passage of time.
Healing, yes.
Oh,
in Gabriel for
see, I don't usually have a lot of time.
more miracle name.
Yes, your holy comes from memory. Oh. I guess I'll ask Raphael for assistance. I am working
Thank
on the
him
next
for
level of
Noah.
my spells. I won't
That
be
is
able
a
to do
really
this in his books,
big
but I've been at least getting somewhat progress.
club thing.
Yeah, she had a basic of 3 books for weaving a magic circle, healing wounds.
Which seems nice at
I
least.
could help you with those.
Minus the whole
You know,
disappearing and
thank you.
reappearing thing.
Just remember, I'm pretty stupid, so I'm slow. Yeah, I'm never gonna be at that level, but I will definitely at least get somewhat even with Sienna's.
Guess mine is gonna be bigger than your guys's.
As look as far as a human can go with being natural holy.
Well, I don't believe that. I think that there's a lot farther you can go if you just put your mind to it and faith.
That's a nice sentiment, but my body will only allow me to go so far. Now the magic, on the other hand, that's something I can work with.
Of course.
Do you get something to drink?
Alright.
Alright.
Are you okay?
Well, I guess they're done.
I suppose that's when he's going to use the
Unless
facility
he's-
this time.
Okay, I guess that means I need to stay here for a bit longer. Gonna. Guess he's technically medical in training as well. I don't know.
He seems relatively competent.
I guess. I'm not a good judge of that sort of thing.
He is keeping his shield in front of his center. He is not swinging it out wildly and leaving himself open. That is the most important thing using a shield. Keeping it in front of you.
Guess that makes sense. There's not much point in having a shield if it's not protecting you, so. But what if somebody comes up behind him?
Well, then he better be prepared to fight multiple people.
Oh.
Hopefully I should have my
Oh.
allies and I'd be able to protect
Okay.
them to protect
Oh.
my back.
I suppose he can hear us from here.
I guess.
I never particularly understood double-edged swords. It seems a bit superfluous.
I guess I don't understand.
What is the point of having a blade that faces the user? Why not have a single strong edge and focus it in the direction of your enemy?
I guess I've never really thought about it before. I guess it means that you can hit somebody with the backside of the blade, like... But that doesn't... I mean, I've tried that before with a sword, and it didn't feel very good to swing, like, inwardly.
Thanks, I guess. I'm gonna go grab some water. Didn't grab it before I came in.
It is most wise.
Oh, I guess that's that. Oh.
It is a bit easier to maneuver like that.
It is? Oh. I don't think there's very many other people awake right now, but, I'll go make some tea or something.
I do not understand this.
Hmm? The board thing? What?
How does it work?
You touch it and it, well, here. Where is this one? See? And then people like me can use these because they're not real weapons. They can't hurt people.
This is good. This is good for training and sparring.
Yeah, it means people can actually practice without worrying about hurting each other. so they can put a bit more into it, I guess. I don't know.
However, my one concern is that it teaches people to not restrain themselves.
I don't
Perhaps,
follow.
depending on... If the weapon itself is incapable of harming, then it can put the user into a state of false security. It is always good to practice restraint.
So, like, if you don't want to hurt somebody with a weapon, you don't... I guess I don't still really follow. I'm sorry.
It is good to practice with what you would call real weapons for the purpose of forcing yourself to not go all out, as you would say.
So, not hurting somebody, but you're still using a real weapon, right?
Yes, it is good to practice.
Oh.
Because if one only practices with weapons that are toys, it can teach bad habits.
I guess
It does not teach actual discipline.
a lot of the people here still use their normal weaponry. Especially when they're sparring. Whoa! Probably not the best idea for me to stand right there.
It weighs
I guess.
nothing.
Yeah. They don't have a lot of weight to them.
It is also quite small, and so...
I think they're really meant for light practice, if anything. Or for people like me who don't really know how to use them. Or have an actual weapon. There's also a lot of different ones, so I guess if somebody wants to try something different or try to learn to use a different kind of weapon, they could.
The balance is off. Or rather, there is not much balance at all.
Like I said, I don't think these are meant for like serious training. Most people have their own. I use these only because I don't really have anything else, and not having to worry about being hurt or hurting other people is good, I guess.
This is true for most circumstances. Especially if someone is simply starting out. One of the benefits of a weapon actually having weight is that you can use that to your advantage.
I guess. I don't know. I'm not very strong, so I probably wouldn't be able to use stuff like that thing. The big
To be fair, not many people
bat
could.
thing.
Which allows me to support myself if I need to as well.
Hook's really heavy.
I suppose it would be.
Would be? Is it just like magic or
My people
something?
are-
Because I know some of the others have like magical weapons that make them feel lighter, or like they're easier to swing because they don't feel as heavy.
Not to my understanding. I believe my people have simply trained to use weapons such as these. This was my mother's.
Oh.
I can take it into the ethereal plane with me. However, to my understanding, it is simply as normal of a weapon as any other.
Hmm. I mean, I've never really seen one like that either. What are the little, things all over it for? The, like, gold parts. I guess it's like a knot? I don't know how to describe it.
It is meant to assist in bludgeoning, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Oh. Oh.
I'm attempting to think of an example of what I meant by using the weapon's weight to your advantage. I suppose it is difficult if I do not have a proper sparring partner.
Yeah, I don't think I should be anywhere near that if you're swinging
I would
it.
not ask you to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you're strong enough to swing that, you're probably strong enough to break me with that.
I would not dream of that in a million years.
Well, I'm not saying you would. I'm just saying, if there was an axe or something, I don't want to get broken.
I do not wish to be broken myself either.
Yeah, I guess most people really wouldn't want to. I guess that's redundant.
That is why it is good to
Superfluous.
practice restraint.
So you can swing and not hit someone while also almost swinging and hitting, I guess. It's still a little confusing to me.
That is one example.
Okay.
One of the things we were taught at the monastery was the proper way to spar with a partner without actually hurting them in any way.
I wish some of the people here knew how to do that.
There was one individual that was here the other day that concerned me with how much they seemed to be obsessed with fighting.
Do you know what they look like? I might be able to tell you who they are.
They had white skin and white hair like I did, except they were much shorter.
White hair, white skin. Was it a male, female?
I believe it was a female. She had on a skirt and had long pigtails.
Long pigtails.
And red eyes.
Wait a minute. Oh, we were talking together the other day, in the garden, when we first met. Their name is Axion.
I do believe I remember telling me that.
They had, the gauntlets
did not.
and the boots. Yeah, that's Axion. There's several people here like that.
Yes, the items they had on their fists were something that concerned me. That is not something that I believe you could spar with and not hurt someone.
Well, couldn't they just do the same thing that I think you're saying you could do with your weapon, where you can swing to hit but not hit them? Couldn't you
Considering
try
those gauntlets are for the purpose of nothing other than causing more damage with a punch, there is no reason to use them over simply an unarmed fist, as long as you are practicing.
So you're saying they
That is a
shouldn't use
weapon
the
meant for
gauntlets if
killing.
they're... Oh.
Or rather, at the very least, they would maim. Especially seeing as they are so spiked.
I guess they're like punching and also putting holes in people.
That was my interpretation.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't do much of the fighting thing. I'm just a nurse in training, technically. So
That is good.
I'm not really one for fighting.
There should be more people like you. People that are focused on simply helping others.
I think there's a lot of people here like that, but there's also a lot of people here that are also here because they want to fight to protect people. Because I guess I don't know.
I simply fight when it is necessary.
I think that's what we're supposed to do too. Like, we're not supposed to go looking for fights. We're supposed to just
I would hope so.
know how to.
However, the individual from the other night did not portray that. They expressed many, many times over that they simply enjoyed fighting for fighting.
Maybe it's just them. I hope.
I would hope so.
I mean, I do know there's several people here who like to spar and fight for the sake of, like, I guess challenging each other, or I don't know. Again, it's not really something I'm super knowledgeable about.
I suppose if it is in the spirit of learning on both sides, then I suppose it is alright. Huh. It is someone I have not been introduced to yet.
Oh, yeah.
Hello
Hey.
again, Arbor.
Hey, it's
How goes it?
Davamir, right? I'm still
Yeah, that's
Okay.
correct.
not the greatest with names.
It's all right. What's going on in here?
Oh, I was just talking with Shiro about, like, fighting stuff. She was explaining some things, because I had asked her some questions.
Oh, new recruit or? I haven't seen her around before.
I don't actually
I am
know.
visiting with my companion, who is applying to be a recruit, yes.
Who might that be?
Oh,
I may have seen them around before.
Her name is Rika.
Rico. The name doesn't ring any bells. No, it's been quite a while since my last visit, so I may have missed them.
I
Wouldn't be
believe
the
it was
first
2
time,
days
but-
ago. I believe it was 2
Ah.
days ago that we arrived.
Oh, then this is recent. Then yes, I definitely missed your arrival. My apologies. Like Arbor said, my name is Zavamir. I'm one of the recruits here.
You may call me Shiro.
Shiro. Pleasure. Also,
You as well.
I have the book if you want it back. I finished reading it the other day.
Oh, sure.
Is there anywhere you want me to put that, or do you want that now?
I mean, if you want to give it to me now, I'll just take it back to my room. Otherwise, you can just leave it by my door or whatever.
Alright. It's no rush, so
Okay.
I didn't mean to
Yeah,
interrupt
I'm-
a conversation you might be having, so just trying to see who's where at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's not very many people, up and around right now.
I see.
Quiet day, for once. You know, they're rare.
It should be cherished then if it's as quiet as you say. Every time I've been here, something's always gone awry.
Yeah, although I guess I probably shouldn't say it, because now I feel like I'm just jinxing it.
Well, if something
now
does
something
happen,
is
we can
probably
blame me
gonna
for
go
just
wrong.
being here.
Oh, yeah.
It's alright, but, so you went to Shooter here for fighting style or techniques? What were you inquiring about, if you don't mind my asking?
No, we were just
Interesting.
talking, and I asked her about, her, club thing.
The studded club on her back.
Yeah. We were talking about other things too, but that was what we were
Oh, okay.
last talking about.
Your weapon of choice?
Yes, it was my mother's.
Ah, also a sentimental value. I see. How long have you been using this study club of yours?
It has been many years now. My mother gave it to me when she retired back to our village.
Oh, alright. What was your mother's occupation? Was like a warrior or a hunter of sorts for your village?
Our village consists of many warriors who are tasked with protecting the village and the gateway that is nearby. We come from the spirit world.
Huh. First I've ever heard of it.
Same.
You'll have to excuse me, I'm not from around here as well. Myself, I'm from the Beastlands, so we're rather secluded out of the plane from what I've understood. Not much seems to be known about what we do.
It is understandable.
Yeah, I don't know much about it either.
Don't look at me, I'm gonna know less than you.
Well,
Suppose it would be a learning experience together, but...
I was gonna say I was gonna go make some tea if you guys want some. I could make a little extra.
Oh,
It would be
sure.
much appreciated.
Yeah. My friend
would not mind
suggested
that.
some that turned out to be really good. So I thought I'd
Oh,
make
really?
a more.
Alright.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think it's confusing. I think she technically works here, but I don't. She's really busy because she's got another job too. She's not like a fighter like you guys.
Who's the one that you're referring to? If they're here, but they're so busy all the time.
Her name is May. She stops by
May.
every so often. Yeah.
Someone else I have to meet then.
I guess
Yeah,
that's interesting.
she's really kind. Really smart too.
Alright.
I always enjoy having conversations with her, but she's usually really busy.
What does she look like? Perhaps I may have seen her in passing, but never got her name.
She's about my height. Tends to wear like really, like a dress almost. Sort of. Except it doesn't have like a. I don't know what to call it. I'm not good with fashion clothes stuff.
It's alright.
She's got like pointed ears and purple hair and purple eyes. She works at
I
the
would
Purple
definitely remember
Lotus.
somebody by this description.
Yeah, she works at the Purple Lotus, and I don't know. She's really
Alright.
nice. She was one of the people that helped teach me to serve people while I worked at the Purple Lotus.
Oh, I was not aware that you worked at this Purple Lotus yourself.
Yeah, for a while. Some stuff happened, and I didn't go back for a while.
It's alright. I just was not expecting this Purple Lotus place to be so connected to the people of Aegis, either through past employment or even partnership. Granted, I'm still new to all of this.
I don't know
There
details.
was quite a presence the last time I was here, too. The day of the lockdown.
Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know a lot of the details about it, but apparently, the guy that owns the Purple Lotus and Hybris are friends, and apparently she helped him start the Purple Lotus, and vice versa. Like,
Oh!
I don't understand how it all works, but apparently she gave him a bunch of money to help get the Purple Lotus started. But he was
I see.
also a part of Aegis a long time ago or something. I don't know details. I just know what I've
What's the
heard in
other's name?
passing. Oh, his name's Sachi. He's...
Sachi. Oh, I've seen Sachi before. Near, what was it? The Christmas festivities. He had the bag.
Oh,
Tour
God, the
dress.
bag. Yeah.
So that's Sachi. Okay. I was not aware he was the owner of this Purple Lotus.
Yeah, he is. He's like the guy in charge, basically, but there's also a bunch of other people that, run it, like the people who... managers.
Right. Okay. Such a concept isn't lost on me. There were plenty of shops, things like that, that had people who did work for others in larger establishments. Hell, most of our hubs for gathering other hunters were like that as well.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, they all, they knew each other and stuff. That's about all I know.
Alright, that's more.
Yeah.
I know more now.
Hello, Zavmir.
Pleasure to see you again. How are you faring today?
Pretty good. Hunt anything great recently?
Oh, not yet.
I took out a dragon the other day.
A dragon?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I've never taken out creatures large like that, so, I see why you like it. Adrenaline.
Yeah, it's definitely, I guess, one of the benefits. You kind of live in the moment. But what was the point of slaying this dragon? That's not something you just casually walk out and decide to do.
Oh, you see, it was attached
Also, I
to
assume
this,
not by your lonesome.
Definitely not. No, I had S of Sienna and small one that will show up later. She's actually quite strong.
With that one right there. Small one, stick.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Alright.
We were after some corrupted or soul of a caster, and she summoned it.
Oh. I was not aware
I think it was more
people
of
could
a-
just
more of a
summon
snow.
a dragon.
Well, I mean, she made
That's
the entire
terrifying.
area snowy.
Oh, you're speaking
right.
about the dragon again. Hey,
Yes, he's somewhat of a monster hunter-ish person. Big creatures are his thing.
I'm
Pleasure to meet you. Say your name again?
Zamira. I'm
Zamira?
an Elysium cleric.
I see.
Wielder of Pledge the Sky, which currently checked out.
I see. My name is Zavamir Thawden. I'm a recruit here, but as Tia said, I'm a beast hunter from the Beastlands. So,
Oh, that's quite
hunting
interesting.
larger monsters has been sort of my forte. I haven't done it as of late, but if one pops up, I'm sure I'll be sprung into action.
It probably
From
would
what
have
I
been
gather,
better
anyway.
with a swampy world then.
What did you say it did to the area, though? I mean, the whole area. What, snowy, you said?
It used to be warm. That whole area slowly turned ice. I think it should be good now. But
Quite
these, we have a
disturbing.
generous budget.
That would not have been
Now it
good
should
in
be
my
gone
part,
by
then.
now.
Cold seems to do not so great things for my own body. Makes me feel slower.
Yeah.
Painful.
It was very hard for me to keep pulling out stones and they were covered in ice.
Mhm.
But you're standing here, which means you succeeded, I take it.
Oh yeah, see, Esso knocked it down, and before it could hit the ground, I put a wall between it and my sword, right in the neck. Kind of pincered it.
Ah. Clever.
Spur of the moment, but it worked.
Where does
Also-
Esso fit into all this? How did he get dragged into something like that? If it's something you and your compatriots were a part of, it sounds like he was brought in
He's
for...
been helping us
something
with some
else.
exorcisms and some demon work here and there. It's
Ah,
good to
I
have
see.
somebody who can track his own.
Alright, makes sense to me. Do you know where he is as of late, actually? I have a few questions for him myself. Have you seen him at
We
all?
don't really communicate. That's Sienna's job. I tried talking to him and he's just,
Kind of blew you off.
abrasive. Yeah, abrasive is more the word.
It's alright. In either case, I just have other business with him that he brought up to me once before. Need to see how that's evolving, so... I was just curious if you'd seen him as of late. How long ago was this
Since that
dragon excursion you
4
were a
days?
part of?
4
3
or
to
5
4.
days? Yes. Yeah, just
Oh,
about.
I missed so much in like a week. I haven't been here in so long. Huh.
I just happened to run in there to them, going there myself.
She saw the dragon, took initiative, ran into us in the middle of the combat. It's quite a
That's
lucky
very
break.
admirable of you.
I mean, it would have been really bad otherwise, because I did get met the jaws of that thing head on.
Ooh.
You were quite injured when I found you.
I could still use my right arm. That was fine.
You could still use your right arm, so I guess it bit you in the right arm.
No, it bit me in my entire left side. Surprisingly
That sounds more accurate.
large. Yeah, surprisingly large creature once he gets really close to you.
How large of a beast are we even talking here? If you're saying if the maul was as much to take out your left side, if you had to guesstimate how tall it would be.
Well, probably as big as this one.
He probably could not stand in this room, yes. He would probably have to stand out there,
Yeah.
and even then he could probably reach, I think his head maybe reached the top stairs, but that's about it.
It was rather large.
That is definitely on the larger end, yes. Yeah, I wouldn't
He was
dare try to
very
fight something
slow.
like that on my own, that's for sure.
Heavy and slow, but we stood our ground.
Well, excellent job on surviving and slaying this beast.
I'm not gonna make a habit out of it. I'll leave the giant ones to you.
Oh, I thank you so much.
I'm not properly geared for that kind of thing.
Yeah, tough
And
armor
how has your
usually
day
helps
been?
quite a bit with the jaws. I'm sorry, we got kind of absorbed in our own conversation, Arbor.
I was just listening.
It's alright.
Just fine.
Oh, is the tea ready, Arbor? Or does
It'll
it need a little bit more
be a
time?
little bit. It'll be a little bit longer.
Very well. And there is one thing I'll need to talk with you about as well, since there's been a development that I need to let you and Miss Air know as well, so once we have a
Oh.
moment, I'll let you know.
I guess medical stuff?
Oh,
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fine.
Everything's okay, or?
Well, I learned something the last time I was here
I'll teach you how to
that
do
you guys will
something
definitely want to
with my
know.
sword.
Okay.
It's more of a private matter, though.
Well,
Oh,
So-
yeah. Medical records
I'll teach
are meant to be kept private unless otherwise stated. Yeah, we can talk. Maybe later. I don't want the tea to.
Of course. One thing at a time.
Oh, yes. If we are on the cathedral and you need somebody who's healing. Samir here can patch someone up pretty easily.
Oh,
Although, as a warning, I do use holy magic, so
oh, you're a magical healer. Okay. I'll
Yes.
I'll keep it in mind. I'm just a nurse in training. I'm not fully
yeah, it's okay. I understand.
licensed
but in
to
case
do a
of
lot
an
of things.
emergency, if you ever see me around, feel free to flag me down.
Yeah. If nobody else is around and I need help, sure. I'll be sure to do that.
Of course.
Well, it's good to know that you're on board with it.
It's almost ready.
But helping people, of course.
Just needs
Well, yes, I know.
probably a few more minutes to finish
If someone was
steeping.
injured, I wouldn't just turn them away because I don't know them.
Very true. So she is, after all.
I hope that you don't turn people away if you don't know them, if they need help.
Mm-hmm.
I knew a few hunters like yourself, Samira, who are always trying to jump in, trying to help as many as they could. The noble characteristic to have. Albeit it can be a little dangerous, like charging in against a dragon.
Oh,
She's
it's a part of my
defended
training.
against.
Yeah. I am a Knight of Elysium. Cleric. So... It's
I see.
something more of instinct at this point.
She's went through the same
Good.
training I have.
Were you part of the same class? Is that the right term for it? I'm not too sure how things work in Elysium, you called it?
Had some classes. Same went on some of the same missions, but
Yes, we were
A
on
lot of
different
people
squads,
learned all
but
sorts of different
we worked
things.
together multiple times.
Hmm.
Same thing with Sienna's. She was part of that group, and I was part of my own that I led.
Alright.
So whereas Sienna would
I-
oversee her, I was a captain of my own. Well, no, it's
Ah,
back.
I understand.
It's back.
Now, for someone who has completely no knowledge of anything outside his own home of the Beastlands, what's Elysium? How would you describe it?
oh,
Since I know absolutely nothing.
Well, it used to be a city of paradise, gold, and... well, light. More like a utopia.
And now?
Rubble.
not.
Hmm.
Well, if there are people still there.
There are.
Mostly rubble. Some scattered farmlands in the upper cities. Mostly where it wasn't affected.
Make it sound like it's some desolate place now. Some catastrophe roamed through there and just kind of destroyed everything. If you were saying it was some paradise.
Pretty much.
Yes,
Yes.
precisely.
Well, if it's any worth my condolences, if that's even helpful at all. Unfortunately, your
Nice.
homeland,
Yes.
I take
Yes.
it, was
Mm-hmm.
destroyed so harshly.
Yep.
Can it be
So
restored in any
controversial
manner?
Not that I'm aware of yet.
No.
I know there are people
Uh-huh.
that are trying. I would assume so. I went back once. It's kind
the
of.
magic that was used to destroy is not powerful for.
It
people
kind of
Elysium.
destroyed the soil, killed the crops. You know, the whole jazz of everything goes bye bye.
Just destroyed the ecosystem first. Everything followed.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was.
Kind of trickled down from there. I mean, it was one giant explosion, but the aftermath was nothing is
Oh.
notable.
wasteland.
That's far more terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Especially
How-
because they can do it again.
How long ago was this initial catastrophe you're describing?
About a little more than 8 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright then. It's not realizing it was something so recent, I take it.
I've only left Elysium 4 years ago. There's not much to be restored.
Well, given more time, what would you do? Would you try to restore parts of your homeland or start anew somewhere else?
It's not our will that it'll be restored. All we can do is hope and pray. Doesn't seem likely.
Interesting.
The angels, the archangels, humans can go through the rite of ascension too. Maybe one day, if I gained enough favor of them, I could alter their mistakes. At least that's what I thought.
Archangels, you just said, what do they, what's their purpose? Who are they?
They're supposed
The
to be
archangels.
guides, silent watchers over the plane. More of an experiment project, if you ask me, but they were just, so at least some of them. But you know, as it is, there is always a gray area between divine beings. I won't go into semantics, but I'll leave it at that.
How many of these archangels reside over Elysium, or did? It doesn't seem like something that's very common, at the very least. Something of that magnitude.
I believe all of them did, did they not? To some capacity.
Equally. Well, at least tried to say it was equal. It's a touchy subject, depending on who you ask and what member of Elysium you ask. Samira here still follows all of theirs. I follow one. Well, two, technically.
I have
In
a
a-
archangel and
Like a patron sort of, you look up
yes,
to
yes.
them sort of deal? I see, okay.
Yes, my archangel Ariel, she has dominion over nature and the elements. There are other archangels that hold dominion over certain aspects of their power, and they gain favor and give their power.
I see. Yeah, we had one such patron figure sort of thing that we all beast hunters at least pay respect to, as they gave us the abilities to do what we do now. Goes by the name of Bull. That's what we know him as, the Lord of the Hunt, so anyone who follows under him, do the right things. Thank you. You're given the ability to do what we do. It's no small task either.
I'd like to believe that they understand where we're coming from, but sometimes it's hard to see us mortals beings and say that they see us as equals. Because they don't. But they understand our plight, and some of them do. And that's kind of enough, I guess. Although I wish more of them would take a step back.
Seems like a very convoluted subject, more or less, with how many parties are involved in your whole homeland current situation as well.
I was just about to bring this to you.
Thank you.
We're at least here, so I guess something went right.
Just reminds me yet again how simple my home really was then.
It's probably about the same tribulations in yours. One misstep, one creature comes out of line, the whole village is gone, right?
It could happen.
Exactly. So, you do deal with little inconveniences and challenges throughout your days.
Sure.
Yours may not be in the same magnitude, but it can be if it's unchecked.
That's what we were meant to do. We'd either patrol villages or go on contracted hunts, things like that. But I mean, for the most part, when I say maybe simpler is like magic, nobody knows what that is. We got along just fine without it. But anything like that, it was more hunters would take up arms and go through the proper trials and such to even become one, and it was on to us to defend everyone else who was strong enough to defend themselves. So yes, villages could fall, but if they did, it's our fault. Plain and simple, that we did not do our job. A lot's on our shoulders.
Well, you definitely look strong enough, especially with the weapon that you carry.
Well, that thing? It's just big and flashy. There are others who who decide to take up something much smaller or lighter. Those are the ones you need to worry about. I got a lot up in time my hits them. They can run around and slash willy-nilly and do the job all the same.
Like a difference between me and Essa.
That's a good way of putting it, yes. From what I've seen with him, he's more close quarter oriented, either with his fist or his daggers, things like that, so.
Yes,
There were
he
hunters who
was
were like
able
that
to
as
get
well.
inside. Yeah. Showed me how quickly my guard could be dropped with a weapon my size caliber. I do need to make myself quicker.
Oh, that, that great sword of yours, that two-handed sword, or is that, I'm thinking of Sienna. Okay, who wields what?
Sienna wields the smaller one. She's a sword user. I wield the Zweihander.
Ah, okay, that's the name of it. I see.
As long as I'm not coating it in stones, I can usually use one hand to lift it.
It's pretty admirable in its own. It's a pretty long blade.
Oh yes, it was gifted to me when I first started training, so I've used it for quite a lot of time.
Certainly helps when you're familiar with something like that.
Do you
Are there
dabble
any
in
other
other
weapons that
types of
you are-
weaponry?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you dabble in other weaponry, or just that one sword?
Well, for the most part, I can make my way with a few other various armaments. When one becomes a beast hunter, you learn under a veteran who is retired, and they show you the ropes on any other weapon that is at our disposal, be it something as large as a great sword or something like long sword, dual-wielded daggers, large hammers. Some either like to keep as far away as possible, either with
She's
large
quite
great bows or
excitable
what
in
we
the
call
morning.
bow guns, which use gunpowder in their design.
She's quite excitable in the morning.
Oh,
There's
I
a
guess,
weapon for everybody's mentality.
you
Great sword
guys,
is called
you
to
said
me.
you came from a
Simple as that.
monastery. I guess
Kinda clicked.
she's never been in a place like this. I'd noticed she's been
No.
running
Exciting
to all the
about that.
windows and stuff.
Everybody in my unit had a
Yes,
different
the two of us are
specialty. They like to pair
having
us up by elemental
a
types,
bit of a
monster
time
types. That way it's more spread
acclimating.
out. So,
It's-
I was the
I
Zweihander, my second in
can
command
understand.
used a spear,
My
she
first time
had
here
six.
was a bit
Also had another person under me.
unusual.
He was a unique one. Fire and brimstone and smoke. Now, smoke is usually not a spell cast you see a lot, but he was really advanced. Used
It's,
to conceal people himself and cause others to be.
I guess you get used to it.
It's really hard to
That's
fight
what I
when
say.
monks are fighting you.
That too, and it could be used as a diversion to
hope
get
so.
around targets.
I would not want Rika to be uncomfortable
Take the
here.
upper hand.
Oh,
Yes.
um,
I was talking about
course not,
Adrian being able to move smoke
yeah.
at will.
I see.
I won't speak on her unit, but my unit was, well, we tried the hardest. Most of us were human.
it's weird because a lot of this stuff didn't used to be here.
Hmm.
It was all like a lot smaller.
The last of my unit that's left Elysium.
I don't even think we've always been like
Units from
here
Elysium,
next
they're
to the
mostly
planet.
human. From what you say, it seems like every so often maybe you'll get something else thrown into the mix.
know,
But
we
at least for us, most hunters were human as well.
moved
That's just the makeup of the Beastlands.
the
There are other native
station
races
a
there,
couple
but
of times.
we were the ones who took up the mantle of hunter.
Oh, Elysium
Always
is
really weird when I do
inhabited
that. The
by
whole place sort of
humans and
shudders.
Asmar, among other types of planar celestials.
It is quite concerning.
We made up the main force. They were not used because they had
Usually they
different
warn
job
us before
titles
they
for
do
them.
that.
for
It's
the
pretty
fighting
quick.
force.
When the building beneath your feet shudders, that is typically
Let's see.
a sign of an earthquake, but since
Who's that?
we are not
And then
Yeah.
on Earth, it is...
I think it's just whatever stuff makes this place move.
She's fast.
I don't know.
Wait a minute.
I'm not. I know some stuff about like
Hold on.
astrological bodies and things like that, but
There's a Gaia.
I don't know much about
Yes, what's
how space travel works. Like I only know like a little stuff about like
He's looking up.
how places like this can like they can like warp somehow. I don't know the details, but they like sort of like
Probably
do something and they sort of just travel really fast to another location. Like a really big boat, except there's no water. And you're moving really fast. Maybe this isn't the best analogy.
I believe I will take my time with understanding these concepts.
Yeah,
It is a bit much for me at the moment.
yeah. It's not bad though. We've been here for a good while now, I think.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yes, you were the one that came with her. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, pleasure to meet you, small cat. Rika.
No, I was not aware
Really
you
fast.
traveled together.
Yes. Probably the same as we do. But you're pretty fast. Reminds me of somebody. But no, they're part of your squad, not my squad.
Mm.
Anyways, that's all that I really cared about saying. Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, small and fast. Remember the one that was really jumpy? I can't remember her name though. How are you?
Are you just visiting as well, or are you want some new recruit here? I haven't seen you before. Granted,
Well,
it's been a while since I've been here, so.
Social interaction, especially without shields popping out.
Well, I've been filling out the paperwork.
Social interaction.
Oh, so you are looking to join.
Most
I didn't quite catch your name. What is it?
It's good to talk about them sometimes.
Rika.
Air it out.
Zavamir,
quite confident.
one of the recruits here. Pleasure.
Unfortunately, it is. It's
I feel like you.
Also, Arbor, the tea was very good. Thank you.
How'd you like
Yeah.
Yes, I meant to tell you that as well.
Things on the other end.
Thanks.
And
I'm
somewhat
glad you enjoyed it.
she's naive.
Not
She thinks too
naive.
highly.
So what drew you to Aegis then, if I might ask, Rika?
Think
My sensei said so.
wrong-headed,
Who might that be?
and without all the knowledge of what happened. A
Hasagawa
lot of your
sensei.
angers are
Is his
because of
name.
assumptions. What actually happened, we don't entirely know.
I see. It's not someone that I have met,
There's
so
a difference between blind
apologies. The
faith
name does not ring a bell, but what
There's
what
lots
did
of
they say
things
about Aegis that
reinstate that
thought that this would be the best fit for you? Some sort of
They,
Yes.
they said
I
that I
forget
can
them, but I won't forget.
come here because there's no more
Is
they
that
can
too?
teach me at the monastery.
Ah.
And that may be
if
helping
you
us.
travel elsewhere to learn
Don't
more.
let them forget.
I see. I'm
Every time
well
they
versed in that
succeed,
concept
they
as well.
Did it for the betterment, for the progress.
there's only so much a teacher can
They did
show
it.
you
They
until
did it
real life
because it's something
experience takes
simple,
over.
Starting over. And they haven't even tried to start again.
entirely know
Oh,
what's happening.
So if you came from a monastery, then what did they teach you as your primary fighting style, anything like that?
Huh?
Can you answer me that?
Don't really fight
Why
unless I
isn't
need
it
to.
rebuilt?
Alright. Then perhaps I phrased it wrong. What were you taught at this monastery then? Let's start there.
A picture of her.
Hmm.
Didn't look at the picture.
How to defend myself. How to
Those are
attune to
fruit.
the cosmos.
That's an apple. That's an orange. That's a banana.
Alright.
What's behind the fruit?
And let's say it does come to defending yourself. How does that happen? How do you go about doing that?
It could be a person. It could be a chair. It could be a bowl.
Depends on the
And
situation,
choose to
but
look at the picture and say that is only a picture.
preferably to disable a person, not harm them.
And now,
And you're not allowing
somebody
it to be
Alright.
harmed.
with talent.
Apologies for
and
my
have the picture
curiosity. I'm
inside.
still trying to learn as much as I can. Where I come from, it's rather
Then draw
secluded, so
that exact same
the
picture.
more I learn
and
from others and
say to me,
how they fight what they've learned, it's
the
all
same.
fascinating in its own way.
Because that's what happens if they rebuild. Exactly. It won't be.
So when you say to disable people without, I guess, killing them in a sense, is it more through
Why
a
not try? Why not at
close
least
quarter beings? Is it magically based from what I've been trying to read
never know
about?
now?
When you say attuned to the cosmos, is it in line with that?
It depends on the
Maybe not in
situation.
my lifetime. Maybe in yours.
Starting to understand you're very flexible in how you respond to
I
things.
stopped asking for them. No, I stopped asking for answers. I just want to live the rest of my life.
I guess.
You have to learn.
Probably
to
don't more than me.
control.
Well, I don't have it here. I wield a massive greatsword.
Seem like it.
Not as
Oh.
probably as fluid or as fast as the studded hood that Shiori wears, but it
The
is.
same way they let go of me.
I'm a heavy hitter. Oh,
It's not true.
I'm not a quick one. So if you're a quick one, it would be most appreciated to have on this team with people here. I'm not too well versed in what everyone else can do, but
There were people that
from what I'm
listened,
gathering, your skill set's probably very different
following
than most
what they
people here.
believed in.
Do you not hear what you're saying?
I'm not sure.
You say that.
What am I saying?
I've
Lena
only been here a
talks
couple
like
of days.
So have I.
something with such certainty.
Every so often, I try to
She's
stop by.
wrong. She won't budge. She won't listen. She won't accept another opinion.
I'm trying to learn as much as I can when I'm here.
You won't accept another opinion. You'd rather
There's
just
books
be
over
sad
there.
with yourself.
But apparently one of the books
sorry,
lies. I'm
but
not
it-
sure why. That's what someone said a couple days ago.
It
Your
lies?
opinion makes
How do you
me
mean?
sad for you. It lets you
That's just
down.
what she said.
Well, which one and who told you that?
There are pieces that say that
Do you remember the book?
fit and makes sense. But it's still, at the end of the day, why?
You kind of remember
It
what it
was-
was lying
it was
about?
the-
Find out. Yes,
The short one
well,
that
have
used
faith
yin.
that you'll find out. Fight to find
How
out
do we
like
speed
I
up this?
am.
What do we do? Do you want to go back to the
Hmm?
museum?
I do not remember her name, but I remember which one you were referring to.
There's nothing
She was
left
very
that
small.
is there.
Is it one of the
Before and after, there's
children
nothing
of Miss Hybris? Was she like
Yes, I was trying to
short, yellow
I
hair?
remember now.
Should I just
She
give
had
up?
I
black
do not
hair.
believe so.
From your logic,
Black
should
hair.
I just give up?
No, you don't
There's
give up.
nothing
You do what
that
I
comes
did. You
Does that ring a bell,
do
Arbor?
what you want.
No.
I didn't really hear most of it.
Black-haired
Sorry, I was
individual?
thinking.
Black-haired individual,
um,
sort of
Just
on the
give
shorter side.
No,
It wasn't one of the children.
up. Wait for the
leave.
time.
You would be saying that a book was lying.
Believe in yourself more.
Black-haired
my phone in my
woman, or
You don't need all of them.
She put the number in our phone, but I left the phone in the.
No, no.
might have been Dylan. Dylan's kind of short, and
Oh, maybe.
She said she does not work here.
doesn't work here.
She gave us a tour though.
Doesn't work here, but gave them a tour.
Probably somebody who's familiar with the place. And there's a lot of people that come here that don't necessarily work here.
Right. That's the only thing I could think of, but somebody doesn't
Persephone?
work here, but told you
Oh
that
wait!
over there
Oh,
is
that's right.
incorrect.
She was here the day you guys got here. Her name's Persephone, or most people just call her Percy. Yeah. What about Percy? Persephone? Sorry.
I guess one of the books over there lies about something. I'm not sure exactly what that means, though.
That's just what she said. She said it. She said this book lies, and then sent it shut. And she then told us that it lies, and she put it back.
Oh.
Do you remember what the book looked like? Because now I'm curious.
I don't actually know what books are over there. I didn't even know we had books over there. Well, until
I was
earlier
not aware
when
either
science.
until you just mentioned it.
Yeah.
Let me take a look. Oh, there are a few over here. What are they?
Book on demons, a book on magic, necropolis, Tressums, and strange beasts. Volume 1.
Any of those ring a bell?
Knowing her, it's probably this book. I know she's a devil, and I heard her get pretty sensitive about demons.
Oh,
I don't know. If there's probably a lie in here of some sort. I don't know. Maybe something that she personally sees as a lie?
that's what I would have to think.
Did you do your morning meditation, Rika? Good.
Well, as long as there are more books over here, I guess I'll have some more things to read about whenever there's some spare time.
Yeah. Yes. I only know what like 2 of these words are. Well, I know what a strange beast is, but I don't know what strange... I don't know what counts as a strange beast.
I wouldn't either. Unless there's some uncommon thing here. Maybe from somewhere else, I'm not too sure.
How? Why don't we find out?
I suppose so.
Purpose of this book is to present information concerning different creatures of the world. While some may be more or less sentient than others, this book aims to give you a brief understanding of each. This book should not be used as a substitute for proper study and observation, as some creatures may vary wildly amongst the different kinds based on region and local temperament. With these books in hand, you should be able to at least identify what is near you and what to avoid contact with. Good luck, traveler. Well, that's kind of cute, actually.
All Mirage? Is that how you say that?
I guess.
Looks just like a rabbit.
It's got like a horn, though. Like, do you know Mirica?
I have no idea what that is.
She says she's an alicorn. She's got a horn that comes out of her head and big white wings.
Oh, I haven't seen anybody by that description, no. No, are they a agent here or someone who's here a lot?
Yes, she is.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen them. So, what's so strange about this horned rabbit?
Well, probably the horn part. Considered a garden variety animal. They resemble large rabbits with a 1-foot-long spiraled horn, usually black in color on their foreheads, like unicorns.
Okay. So
Oh
it's
my gosh, we're usually timid creatures considered stupid and unpredictable by some. However, all Mirage were also fearless. They were easy to pet and tame and incredibly faithful to their masters, and spellcasters often sought to make them their familiars. When forced to fight, they could be quite dangerous, ramming against their enemies, stabbing them with their horns. Non-Mirage were intelligent enough to fight using simple tactics such as burrowing to move unnoticed and attack an enemy by surprise. So it's sort of like a magic creature, I guess?
I suppose.
Magic horned rabbit? Oh. That's yoga.
Just a little bit of yoga while reading. Nothing unheard of. I mean, that doesn't sound too bad.
Not really. Axe beaks, tall and aggressive featherless birds. They get their name from their sharp wedge-shaped beaks. They have strong necks and powerful legs, which they use to sprint at high speeds. Axe beaks are aggressive hunters who usually hunt during the daytime. They are always prone to attack any unfamiliar creatures that approach them. Axe beaks were most commonly found in the hills and grasslands, but they were also common to the jungles. Flocks of axe beaks are also believed to be protective of their young, rushing to its aid in case of danger. Portals are known to sometimes capture wild axe beaks to sell them to visitors. That's not very nice.
Oh. I mean, the axe beak just reminds me of the Ava Mortis from the Baselands. It's a large
The what?
creature in that size. I think that was one of the beasts Aegis has fought in the past.
Oh,
Large, like, had sharp beak. Usually holds a rock, smacks people with it.
oh. Maybe? I don't know too many things about the things they fight. I just
It's alright.
bandage people up.
It's just right. Just similarity more than anything that I caught.
Cranium rat?
rat.
Psionically enhanced rats? I don't know what that means. Transformed
Oh, yeah,
by mind
psionic
flayers
rat.
through bombardment
What's a
with
mind-
psionic energy? I don't know what a mind flayer is, and I don't know what psionic energy is either.
The book you gave me kind of briefly touched on what psionics was. It's more of like mental fortitude, like magics or something related to one's mind.
Hmm.
Kind of like thinking about stuff and things happen, more or less. From what I was told, I think Fable's a psionic.
Really?
I think so.
Oh. Maybe I should ask
I'm not
him
sure
about
that
it.
what all he can do then, but he might know what these are then. Or at least what that means.
I still don't know what mind flayer is, though. But whatever it is, it doesn't sound nice. They're
it
used
does
as
not.
spies by illithids? Interspersed through the
Illithid?
normal rat population of a city? These things don't sound very nice. Cranium rats are indistinguishable from regular variants of their respective species, save for their enlarged and exposed brains. That's a pretty big difference.
Oh, okay.
It is possible for these brains to emit light? That's weird.
I'm not a fan of these rats.
Yeah, I don't like them either. Although I guess they technically count as a strange beast.
If they've been forcibly altered by these mind flayer creatures, then yes.
When
This
isolated,
just makes me more worried
craniums-
about what a mind flayer is.
Excuse me, their telepathy? Wait, telepathy. I've heard of that one before. That's like talking to people's minds? So is that psionic then?
That sounds
Is that what that means?
that sounds incredibly useful, and perhaps yes.
Yes, but it's a rat using it, I guess.
I'm not sure what a rat could talk to another rat about.
Intelligent than normal vermin?
Jeez.
Will be in the training room, Rika.
Perhaps.
Yeah. In forming a swarm, however, the collective intelligence of the rat is combined into a single entity? What?
Wait, so it's like a hive? Like everyone just works together, sort of?
I
Like a beehive?
guess that doesn't sound real at all. Granted, I guess I've heard of similarly strange things. And I guess it's
I will say again, I do
magic
not like
I'm not
these rats at all
familiar
now.
with. No. Cranium rat swarms. Oh, that's controller turning. Cranium rat swarms speak to the collective using us and we. So wait, rats speak? Or I guess they're smart rats?
Speaking rat.
If rats separated from the swarm lost access to their psychic powers but do not suffer an immediate intelligence drop, instead they gradually lose their boosted intelligence over the course of several days. This loss is immediately reversed when they swarm again. These dangerous entities were not normally violent unless ordered to attack. Their usual role was reconnaissance. I
So
still
they're
don't
a
like this.
scout more than anything else, but I guess if you're seeing them, there's more terrible things to worry about.
Probably? I don't know.
Perhaps one of those mind flayer creatures are nearby. Whatever those are.
Maybe. I don't know.
Has Aegis ever dealt with these rats before? Has anyone ever heard of these things? They seem rather out there, if you know what I mean.
I've never heard of them before, and I don't think I've heard anybody talk of them around here before. I know there was some issue with some guy, like, turning people into rats, but I didn't know
What?
much about it. Yeah, I don't know. Look, Zephyr is weird. There's a lot of crazy people there. All I heard was people.
The more and more I hear about Zephyr is don't go there unless I absolutely had to.
Yeah, if you're gonna be there, don't hang around for too long.
I've gotten that so much. Well, what's the next strange creature? Unless there's more about these rats, because it just keeps getting worse and
I
worse.
hope not. Crag cats. Crag cats are predators.
Oh, good. Now
They're
there's a
well
cat.
adapted to almost all terrains. Crag cats are gray during most of the year, but turn white during the winter to better hide in the snow. The cry of a crag cat resembles a scream of terror in order to attract humans. Crag cats had extraordinary resistance to magic and were capable of reflecting spells back to their casters. Crag cats were well adapted to any terrain except for the dense forests. They were often solitary, but could also be found in packs and family groups with their cubs. These packs were particularly dangerous during the harsh winter, so basically it's an anti-magical screaming cat?
That hunts people.
I'm liking this book.
Well, I can say there is nothing like that in the Baselands, so
Oh god, what is this
let's
thing?
get that insane.
Roth? Rothe? I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce that one.
I have no idea.
Are herd animals and one of the primary livestock of humans in the Faradune's northern areas and of the drowsy Underdark below. These magical beasts resemble musk oxen and are often leveraged as workhorses. These creatures come in a few varieties based on region. Surface Roth are herd species that live in northern regions. Deep Roth are subspecies that communicate with flashing lights in the Underdark? What? Seems like a lot of these creatures are magical or in some nature.
Yeah.
Okay. Then a ghost Roth are larger than average and are usually white with magical abilities that grant them transportation and silence? Do they have things like those where you come from?
No, they do not. Though that is probably the most tame thing we've seen in this book. It's just livestock of some region that I guess has magical properties to it.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem that dangerous.
There's another bird here. Diatrema. A large, flightless bird native to the Underdark? I don't know what the Underdark is, but it sounds unpleasant.
Do you know what the Underdark is at all, Rika? Heard of it?
I don't remember being taught about it.
Okay.
Well, it's definitely not something native to my home.
Diatrema is a large, flightless bird native to the Underdark. These gigantic birds are about 8 feet to 12 feet tall with short wings that render it flightless. It has a thick neck with deadly powerful hooked beak. The drow often use their hugely plumed feather for decoration. The mercenary Jarlaxle? I don't know who that is. Sported one of these on his wide-brimmed hat. As both an ornamental and functional magical item known as a Feather of Diatrema Summoning. By blowing into the feather, he was able to summon a Diatrema bird. What? So, just like taking one of the feathers, he was able. He put it in his hat and then was able to call these birds to him? Huh.
So I guess he tamed it magically? That's the only thing I could think of that would apply here. If it followed his commands or something.
Conjuration.
You think so?
They're like magic feathers?
Perhaps. I'm not too versed on the schools of magic yet. I read a beginner's guide on it, and that's about it so far.
Diatrema can sometimes be scared off, but this does not work on older diatremas. Diatremas will frequently swarm a target they believe is weaker, pecking and tearing them with their beaks and sharp talons, but can be swayed if one of the group is severely injured. So they're basically like they sound like these things called ostriches, except
why is that?
Way meaner.
What makes you think that?
Well, they're like birds with long necks and beaks, and they run around and will peck people in herds, but these ones are just, like, meaner sounding.
Oh. Alright.
Dire tiger. Dire
tiger.
Dire squids, flying snakes. Ugh. Giant fire beetles, giant eagles.
Giant,
Just like a lot of giant things.
giant.
Okay, that's.
Giant spiders?
Spider?
Oh,
Is that a
okay.
thing? I guess
There
I
were
should-
definitely spider-like creatures back home, too. They were rather large. Not very common, but encountering one was not a welcome sight. Very quick, very cunning.
Cool. A lot of snakes with massive dark scales and arrow-shaped head with sharp pointed horns. Typically live in any environment, but are most often found in warm forests. Typically can change the color of their skin to match their surroundings and are talented climbers and swimmers. Jukuli average 8 feet long, but can grow to a length of 12 feet. Their natural colorations
Oh,
deep green to brown. They're tall. And near the tail and their underbelly usually is a light gray. Jukuli lie and wait for their opponents, preferring places high above the ground where they can leap on their prey and gain surprise. They learn to play with an animal trance, then attack with their sharp horns. An ability to constrict. If a foe proves too troublesome, Jukuli jump from the tree to escape, then swing around and pursue the prey for a better opportunity. So it's like a... I don't know how a snake sort of thing jumps. But
I'm not
regardless, this one
too
also
sure
sounds really
either. No, I
unpleasant.
don't. I'm not sure I want to find out what a 12-foot snake does to jump from tree to tree to constrict people. Especially one that seems to be rather intelligent, more or less.
Quippers. A fish? Ugh. Rock crabs.
Oh, he looks pleasant.
Sturge? Tiny magical beast that feeds on the blood of other creatures? That's...
Okay, there's definitely nothing like that back home.
Yeah, all of these creatures sound awful. Ugh.
Yeah, I'll get that from you.
Thanks.
Well, that's only volume 1.
Oh yeah.
Gods only know what's in the other ones.
I don't want to know.
Hell, the amount of beasts I let Hybris learn about from my notebooks enough to make more than a few volumes of that size. Sketches and all.
Oh, I'm, Arbor, by the way. I'm one of the other people that works and lives here. I guess I work over there. I'm a nurse, sort of. In training, technically. If you get
I'm
hurt,
Nice
I'll
to meet you.
do my best to take care of you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Oh, don't look at me. I'm just wondering where we're gonna go from here now that we've learned all the strange beasts that this small little library over there has to offer.
Well, I think
Okay.
Shira went to the training room.
Right, I was gonna say. Let's see what she's up to.
that's right. Saw her earlier. I don't know if Zeke or I forget what her name is again.
It's alright, I'm terrible with names as well.
Yeah,
Something like that.
that sounds right. Yeah, that sounds about right. Samira, I think. I think you're right. I don't know. I only remember the other guy's name because he threw rocks at us.
I've seen her do that a few times.
Yeah. Whoa.
Hmm. Good form. She's experienced.
Hmm. I guess I wouldn't be able to tell.
You can tell with how fluid she goes through each motion, especially with her footing as well. There's no hesitation through each movement.
Mm-hmm. We used to train together.
The other thing with that level of confidence is that she already knows what the next move will be that she's going to perform. She doesn't think in the moment of what to do next. She already has a plan. Something like that, though, only comes with years of experience. I've thought about bringing my greatsword here a few times just to get a couple swings in. I'm always cautious that I might hurt someone in the process, though. It's not exactly a easy weapon to maneuver mid-motion. It's quite heavy.
Hmm.
With something like that, though, she definitely has a lot of control over that. Doesn't seem to be very heavy at all.
It's heavy. Very heavy.
Have you tried? You've tried holding it, then? How much you think that thing weighs? You gotta make a guess, unless you know.
I'm not sure.
No.
It's not easy to use, though. Not for me.
Wonder.
Yes, Arbor?
Given
Wonder
its
what?
construction, I'd estimate around 160 pounds. Maybe more. I'm not entirely certain what type of metal it's made of, but given it looks sturdy, I'd say probably iron or steel.
Interesting. I know there's been a few people here at Aegis who've tried to hold my greatsword to little to no effort. I think Osh was the only one I think so far who's held it successfully, though wielding it would be another thing entirely, and that thing weighs about 175.
Wait, really?
Isn't that a... My greatsword alone, yes.
Parts of it are hollow?
No.
Do you know what kind of metal it's
Though
made
it is
of?
not entirely of one metal. That may help in its construction. It is... It's primarily iron, but it has another ore from my homeland known as macalite. Makes for a fine metal, which is what this plate mail is made of as well.
Is macalite, lighter weight?
I like to think so. But granted, the last time I think anyone's tried to weigh it, it comes in a little heavier than plate mail, so I think it's more my body's used to it. It's kind of
Maybe.
made for us, so we're not really meant to like think about it anymore.
Given what I've seen of your weapon and its construction, I'd imagine it would probably weigh closer to 200 pounds. Maybe more.
It's possible. I haven't had it properly weighted anywhere, but that's what people seem to kind of gauge it around.
If anything,
I'd ask Una to look at it, but I guess she can't really
without knowing
touch
anything about this
iron
macalite or...
stuff.
I couldn't say for sure. I don't know what the mass or density of it is, so... It's just a guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't know much either. It wasn't my specialty. I wasn't one of the smiths.
Hmm.
I just kind of know what it looks like and where I could find it to bring it back to get something made.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hunters did more than just hunt beasts. We were also assigned to go and get minerals or herbs, things like that, because we knew we could. People knew we could take care of ourselves.
Hmm.
So there were contracts like that every so often.
I see. So, like, you going to gather just plants and stuff, and then you make stuff with the plants, or someone makes it for you?
There's a list of things that I know how to make on the fly if I need to keep myself alive. But there are some things that only can be made back at a camp in the hands of a practitioner, though I know what they are and what's needed. I just don't know how to make it. That's usually more along the lines of any sort of attack. Like, you're not really attack, but more of, how to describe it? More of a that's the word. It kind of made you perform better, hit harder, or take more hits. I'm not sure what the proper words would be here, if there are any, but...
I'm not super familiar with them, but we have used, like, potions is usually what people refer to them.
I mean,
all I know is they're different plants and other things, sometimes magical in nature, that can help speed up someone's natural regenerative speeds so they don't die. I don't know much outside of that.
Yeah, we had plant-based sort of potions, I guess we'll call them, back home as well. In fact, I think I might have one on me, actually. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Still had one.
Oh.
Just made from herbs from back home. I think it was called mercy leaf, I think is what it's translated to in your tongue. A couple of those in there, and be it some water and mercy.
Mercy leaf. Oh, like take mercy
that's
on
the word.
something or someone. Guess
That's
it's an
just
apt name. If you're
The
using
name
it
that
to
I
make
was told.
potions.
Part herb, and then something to use as a liquid, be it water or something else, and then either finding that on its own is enough to make a more basic remedy, but there are ways to make it more potent with other properties, be it like there's actually sometimes hives you can find around in more shaded areas of some of the larger, like, bees and things like that, and their honey seems to do wonders for when it's applied to things like this. Makes it a little more potent.
I have heard of honey being incredibly, like, beneficial for people's health. Like, there are a lot of, well, I don't know. You're familiar with, more, how to put this? I don't want this to sound rude.
No, it's fine.
Scientifically based, medicine. How people's bodies work, their biology.
Myself, not specifically, though. There were people who were into that kind of research as well, though. From the things I've seen here, and the one time that Ashra had a bunch of glass in his back and all the bottles and whatnot that were in your cabinet, I could not make heads or tails of what anything was, so you're definitely further along than we ever were, put it that way.
Well, honey has a lot of really beneficial things like proteins and different antibodies and basically things that help keep people's bodies healthy. It's really good, unless you're eating too much of it. But they say maybe a spoonful a day is actually incredibly healthy for some people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, even with the the remedies that we made, not a lot of the honey was ever needed. Maybe like every 2-part mercy leaf, it was only 1 part honey, so just kind of mixed it all together, crushed it down, put it into water, any kind of liquid, and just drink it as is. Seemed to do wonders in itself.
Hmm.
I had thought about, because it wasn't in my book originally, I might create another one if I have the time, of more of that side of things that I know. The book that I gave Miss Hybris my first time I was here was more of the bestial side of things, like what things are, what they look like, kind of how they act. But not much of the plant side or the things that we had in the field to help in our travels and make sure we didn't die ourselves.
Flora and fauna?
That would be the words for it, yes. Be it flora, fauna, insects, traps. I guess the word potions would be the name for it, or a name for it. If I have the time, I'll definitely start transcribing all of that myself. It's a lot of things that I just know that I never written down. So it'll be a good thing. Exercise what I still remember.
Hmm.
Of course, the only downside would be everything that I would write down. I guess for Miss Irish, I guess she likes knowing more about things, but it's kind of a shame there's not a lot of application unless I went back or someone went with me to get some of these plants to study themselves.
She's.
I highly doubt anything here is the same there. Or
I
anyway,
talked
yeah,
to
that's the way of putting it.
Diana about that once, because before I came here, I wasn't very knowledgeable when it came to technology, and especially not things like her. She was.
Right.
I didn't realize she was she's sort of like a robot, but not a robot kind of thing.
I'm figuring that one out myself, especially her children, I guess, are the same make.
Yeah, the best way that I know to explain it is the way that Ion explained it to me, and that she's sort of like a computer program if the computer program was incredibly complex. Like, almost as complex as us, if not more complex. He
Complex
also
enough
said
to be
that
a
she's not
person,
like the
sort of
other
scenario.
robots in the movies. So I didn't have to... He said
Like,
I didn't have to worry,
what, like Eben? I've seen that one around.
Yeah,
Eben Locke, I think his name is.
basically like Eben Locke, where they're not like a person sort of like you or I. They were created.
Okay.
Who created Hybris?
Well,
She's in
one of my
charge
lab
of...
logic, somebody had to.
Yeah, I guess. Never really given
Unless
it much
it's
thought.
some...
She's so much like a person.
Granted, I know very little about how things work here, especially on the technological side of things. I don't know what the probability of her just kind of suddenly existing would even be. If something like that's even possible.
I'm still
Did life come from nothing
just getting
here?
the
Is that even...
my phone. So.
That might be too big of a question, so... That is another thing I need to find out about a phone. Apparently one got requisitioned. I have no idea if it's even here. I'm sure it is, but I wouldn't be able to go get it.
I think so. I don't know. I've had mine for
If it is, it's down in...
yeah.
Well, if it is, it's down in the lab, and I can't really just go down there.
Oh, I guess? I wouldn't know where. I don't usually go down there. There's not much reason for me to be anywhere near any of all that equipment. I'd be afraid I'd break
The last time I was down there was for... Well, before I became an official recruit, was to be some sort of bodyguard for Sigen Uno to go research some mineral thing that he had found. Want to get examined, things like that, or at least brought back here, so... hoping to see if I can find her today, let them know that I'm still available. I need to get that phone so it's easier to contact myself since I don't have anything. And then where we stand on that specifically as well. I've been gone for so long, I have no idea what the stance is for Uno and Sick to even get... Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know what's happened to him. I hope nothing's happened.
Well, he seemed very eager to go on this research mission thing that Essa was describing, so as if some new opportunity for him. I was more than willing to help. It's what I'd done in the past, so it would have been more of the same for me.
Hmm.
It was also a way for, I guess, to prove myself, at least to Esso, that I'm worth the time, in his own words, but I understand what he means.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know that I'm ever gonna go on any of those mission things, so that's all you guys.
Well, that's if you even wanted to go in the first place, but from the conversations we've had in the past, I do not see that you would have that kind of mentality.
Not really. I'm not a. I don't think I'm a fighter. I'm perfectly content to just try and help keep people here alive, because, I don't know, it's just nicer? I don't know. There's
Right.
a lot of
No, I understand.
weirdness behind all of that.
Not everyone wants to go on the front line, so... Especially if you don't consider yourself a fighter, then I wouldn't try putting yourself out there until you were absolutely confident in something like that.
Mm. No. Well, I guess they're done.
I suppose so. Well, if you have a free moment, I do need to talk to you about the medically related stuff that we learned the other day, or at least the last time I was here anyway, so...
Yeah,
It actually happened in here, so there is footage of it if you ever want to look back at it as well. Now that I think about it.
I didn't
Well, from
know.
what I'm told, everything is
Oh,
seen in here. At least that's...
I guess that would make sense.
I could be wrong.
I don't know. I've heard a lot of things about this room. Not all of it seems normal. I don't know. Apparently, like, the room's not real. Like,
I've heard that one. That one's kind of
walls
hard to
aren't
wrap my head around.
yeah. Like, it
But
looks real.
should have seen the first time I went through the VR missions stuff they called it. That was
Oh,
an
yeah.
experience,
You've
just
been
trying
through one
to
of
figure out
those?
what's what.
I kind of
I was here
accidentally
for one
ended
of those,
up in
yeah. Really? Wait, how do you
yeah,
accidentally end up in one? What happened?
I didn't realize that they were doing it, and there was like a weird, like, portal thing in the room. Like, this big, like,
Oh, I see.
gate thing.
Hmm.
And
And then you just
I was
walked through it.
kind of curious and touched it, and then everything kind of went white for a moment, and then I was in
understand.
a room, and there were a bunch of people I knew in there, and they were like, Arbor, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I don't know.
Oh no. What
Not
were they
everybody
up to?
wants me to punch things.
Or that should be more of your choice if you want to punch anything in the first place, and from the sounds like of it, you don't.
No. No, I only have one good hand, so accidentally hitting
Best to
something
preserve that.
harder than I am would be
Catastrophic.
yeah. It's hard enough getting by with just one.
No. Well, for what it's worth, you seem to be doing alright so far. I mean, I saw you handling that book fairly well, so it's not your first time doing that. You kinda
No.
seems like you've understood what you were capable of, which is good.
It's been like a year and a half since I woke up, so
Alright. I see.
I literally don't remember ever having another arm. All I know is that I probably should have one.
Oh, that's a very odd situation to be in. Huh.
They say you can't miss what you don't remember, but it's I don't know, it's complicated. It would be nice.
Definitely sounds complicated, yes.
Opening doors while holding things is a problem. That's why I like these pants, because I've got extra pockets.
Ah, resourceful. Good.
Yeah. It's like having extra hands, except
Well.
that they're on my legs. speaking of which, I need to make certain. What time is it?
This is temperatures work the same way then.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I guess that's a thing too. How much time do you have, Arbor?
Oh, about another... about another hour and a half.
Alright. When does it start getting a little iffy for you again? It's like what?
After about 4 hours. Sometimes a little earlier, sometimes just a little bit later, but usually after about 4 hours. There's usually
Well,
no
wasn't there-
timing.
Trying to remember when you were telling me about it. There's like a little bit of time beforehand when you kind of know when it's coming, or like you start getting, I think it was dizziness or something like that.
Yeah, I'll
Or just a little more
notice that
unstable.
I have a harder time focusing, and suddenly I feel like I'm losing my sense of balance more than I probably should.
Right, okay. Noted.
Oh.
Well,
It's if you see me and I'm just laying somewhere, I don't know, maybe just prop me up. I'll be fine.
you told me the same thing the last time as well. I'll do what I can to make sure you're comfortable. Don't worry.
Thanks.
Of course.
So I usually try
That
to
was-
keep an eye on it so that way I don't accidentally stay up too long and get stuck somewhere.
Right. Well,
That way I don't go anywhere.
so you mainly stay here. Is that what you mean? Or
Yeah,
at least on the station, I should say.
yeah, I wouldn't want to be like just even thinking about it as like if I were to ever like be like somewhere like for Saphira or something, I wouldn't know. So many bad things could happen. I've already had people try to take me before there, so I try to be careful.
Right. I see. Well, from everything that I've heard, you just don't go alone. I guess in your case, you'd just have to be extra careful in that regard.
Yeah, they said there most areas I'm okay, and I usually try to not spend too much time, but the people here are nice, but I know that not everybody is as kind, so I try to be careful, especially after.
Unfortunately, that is the case.
Yeah. So,
Well, for this medical thing, where's a more private area that this can be discussed so there aren't people overhearing it?
there aren't
Where
too
would be
many,
the best
but
place for something like that?
just go sit in the medical bay area and we can just watch the door, I guess. If anybody approaches, we can just stop talking about it and change the subject or something. It happens.
Alright.
Not very many private
That should be
places
fun.
to talk. I'm inside of people's rooms, but I don't know if you're comfortable. You don't have a room yet, do you? You said
I
you're
do not,
alone
no.
still. Okay, yeah,
That's
I don't
correct.
think the recruits normally have rooms until later. But yeah, we can go there and we can sit and talk and yeah.
Sure. By all means. Hopefully this does not take long at all.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I should ask, have you already talked to Miss Eyre about this?
Unfortunately, no. This happened after I think Miss Eyre retired for the day. This was also the same day that we learned about this when the lockdown occurred, right before I left. So, the only other person I'm aware of that this happened was Asha, because he was there at the time, though I'm not sure if he's informed Miss Eyre about it yet.
Oh, I hope so.
But if you haven't heard anything about it, then I might as well tell you as well.
I don't always hear about stuff. She handles most of it, and if I hear something, I'm supposed to let her know. But
Well,
I don't know if you want
it
to
is.
tell her yourself, or if you want me to relay the information to her. I can do either. I'm basically her assistant. She's my
Well,
boss.
whatever's easier, I suppose, but I feel she'll probably want to see for herself either way.
Probably. If it's something serious, probably, yeah.
Nothing, well, partially it's something that you would need to be made aware of, but also you need to know, I guess, what I am,
Oh.
so that at least you're not afraid.
You're not, I guess, human? I guess I assume a lot of things, I
Well.
guess. Or don't ask questions.
I like to think that I still am, but by definition, probably not anymore.
Here, we can just sit over here.
Alright. 1 second. There we go. Well, in full disclosure as well, Iris is already aware of this as well, so. But if you're on medical, this is also something you'll need to be privy to as well, in case the worst case scenario that I end up on that bed behind me. I don't need everybody
Yeah.
freaking out.
Yeah.
No, for the most part, it shouldn't be too terrible when it happens, but... Well, the first things first is that the incident that was in the training room was, more or less it was myself, Ashura, Snow, and a man by the name of Jet. Do all those names sound familiar to you?
Only Ashura and Snow? I don't know who this Jet person is. They're
No.
not an
I
agent
guess it's someone
either?
who... No, I think they seem to be around every so often, at least when I'm here. I think Raina's taken a liking to them as well, so they're welcomed here. They seem to be around enough. People know who he is, but for the most part, it came about when, I guess, they were trying to figure out more about Snow, and we were present as well, but I guess Snow just kind of eats up magic. This all plays part of it. He was trying to
Really?
figure out, like, what
Oh, yeah.
works, what doesn't work, and he just kind of, what he originally tried is, I guess, some kind of, like, small point of magic, like a needle on your arm, right? Trying to poke her skin with it, and it would just shatter. Or absorb it, something like that. Her body just takes it. Nothing happens. And so, what he tried to do as an example of this is what magic is supposed to do, is that he placed his hand on my shoulder, and some spell or whatever, I guess, called lay on hands. Is that familiar to you at all?
Not really. I'm not very magically adept,
Well,
nor am I
okay.
very knowledgeable when it comes to it.
Alright, well,
Uh,
whatever this spell is, when he cast it on my shoulder, my skin started to burn. So we
Is-
discovered that I have some sort of reaction to, I think it's holy magic, he called it.
Oh,
It doesn't
okay.
work, nor should it be applied.
Yeah, that seems to be a common thing. There's a lot of people I've heard that don't. Their bodies don't react well to it. So wait, are you like most of the people that I know that are like that are like demons or devils or I know Scaris and Eliza said that they also can't take it, and they're skeleton people. You've probably seen them around, maybe.
Oh,
They kind of keep to themselves.
Scaris, I saw him one time.
Yeah.
The skeleton man.
Yeah. He's friendly. Just quiet.
No, it's nothing like that. It's just more of a surprise.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
In either case, I'm not sure why, but more or less, and you kind of picked up on it a little bit already. I don't think I'm human anymore. I like to think that I am still, but I think I'm just fooling myself at that point.
Oh, so you've been changed you used to be human, but you're no longer human.
Well, I'll just rip the bandage off. I know I died. And I know everything about the night, too.
Oh, okay. So wait, you're... Oh, so... Oh, okay. So you're, like Scaris? Then you're...
No. In my
dead,
culture,
or-
I would be known as a revenant of the Beastlands.
I don't really know what
I don't-
that is, but...
It's like a children's tale, more or less. It's like a don't wander too far out at night into the forest. The revenant will get you. It's to keep kids safe. People don't think they're real. It's like the alluring lights of it will draw you in, and then they eat you, or stories like that, right?
I've come to understand
No one
that most
thinks
of those
they're real,
stories are true,
but
and I guess this is one of those cases?
I suppose that's the case now too, isn't it?
Yeah. So, aside from
But
holy magic, is there anything else we should be aware of? Again, I don't really know anything about
well,
this, about Revenant.
that's the problem. That's the problem. The Beastlands, we don't use magic. No one knows about it. So everything that I've been reading about here has been from the square one of all things. So
Oh,
I was not aware that Holy was going to do that to my own body, and that was probably the worst thing I've ever felt.
yeah. Oh.
So I have no idea what else can happen magically. We're going to have to kind of figure that out.
Maybe.
Hopefully nothing as bad as Holy. That was awful.
Again, I'm not super familiar with these things. Miss Air might be able to tell you more, or Miss Hybris, maybe. They know much more about magic than I do.
Iris was thinking it could have been some form of necromancy of some kind, though I'm not sure how or why, since it wouldn't have been some practitioner of it, some caster of it, since
All
nobody
I know
knows
about
about
necromancy
magic.
is that
So
it's a school of magic where all the spells have to do with basically people's live stuff. They called it life essence. I guess souls and their bodies, and I know that like undead can like things like zombies and skeletons come from it, but I don't know much else about it.
That was her best guess that it's related to that in some way, but
Okay.
outside of that I have no idea, but
Okay. Well.
and my form is not exactly something that's probably easy to look at anymore either. I don't look like a person anymore either, though I'm not
Oh.
like Scaris per se. It's kind of alarming. I don't really like showing anybody about it, so
No, you don't worry about it. You don't have to do anything you're not comfortable with.
right, well, it's only more of a case that if I don't want people to be alarmed if it comes to that point where I have to be on the table and the armor has to come off and people are suddenly surprised at what they see and they don't know how to react, but
To be completely honest, I'll probably be a little alarmed, but I'm not gonna.
would it help if you saw a preview of it now, or no?
Again, you don't have to do anything you're not comfortable with.
Well.
Okay,
But
not
to
great
be
at this.
to be honest
I'll
with
try
you,
to speak more
but to
professionally.
be clear, the only person I've shown myself to is Hybris, just so that she is completely aware of the situation. Though I know that needs to extend to the doctors as well, so that they know what they're prepping
it
for.
helps, definitely.
It's your call, though.
I guess the biggest things that we have to know, Miss Eyre, myself, anybody who's helping to keep you alive if you're injured, we need to know how to take care of you if you're not conscious. If you're bleeding or something, or, well, like, I don't know if you... I don't know if you bleed or do anything like that. Like, there's different ways of taking
sort
care of
of,
everybody.
but it's kind of more of a. Well, I explained before the last time here. I'm not sure if you remember that I've lost my hand and my leg before in the past, and it comes back. That much I know already. Oops, excuse me. That much I know already. And when I originally lost my hand, is that it's more of a I do bleed, I think, is what it would be, but it's more of like a viscous blue black liquid. It doesn't look normal at all.
Like normal blood. That's okay. Not everybody has the same kinds of blood, anyways.
Right, but it's.
All we know
it
is
looks
that
more
if it
dead,
is coming
more than
from
anything
your
else.
body, if we're supposed to keep it inside of you, we will do our best to basically bandage your wounds and make certain that
Right.
everything is cleaned, and that way you don't get sick or anything like that.
Yeah. The most that would need to be done would just be probably slowing the bleeding down and stopping it if you can, and then
Yeah,
the
you
body
said
just kind
your
of takes care of
hand
itself.
grew back? Do you
Right.
have, like, regenerative capabilities? Like, your body is capable of kind of bouncing back?
I suppose I do now. It's definitely not something that's normal for every person from the Beastlands. I never knew of anybody who could grow a hand back or a leg or anything of that caliber. The burn on my shoulders
what
are already
we will
gone.
have to do is we can't assume anything as far as you being a human anymore, I guess.
Right.
We can't assume
I
that
suppose.
the same sort of things will apply, so if something's different, like say you come back from a mission and your leg is missing, if we bandage it up, we also need to make certain that if it is going to try and grow back, we're not putting anything over it or on it that'll stop it from doing that. And that we're prepared and, we don't try to do anything else.
Yeah, and like I said, I think more or less when I had to deal with it on my own, it was more of basically tightening my arm so that the bleeding would slow down to the point where then it sort of naturally stopped itself, and then over the course of, even week, 2 weeks, the hand came back, but it's a slow process, but it does return, though. In the meantime, I'm just kind of missing a hand or a leg. I've also noticed anything that is cut off like that just kind of turns to dust. Like it wasn't really there to begin with. So there's nothing ever to salvage, like a part. So I guess that's another thing that you'll need to be aware of. No, there will not be a missing hand that can be recovered. It will just be dust in the wind.
An important question then, I guess. Do you have a pulse? If we check for a pulse to make certain that you are, how to say this, I guess, still really alive?
Even ironic.
Yeah. You know what I mean. Like, presuming that you are currently
corpse.
technically alive, you're still undead.
I think I do. The last time I checked, it was very faint.
Okay,
So I don't think I really need like a
we don't have to
I guess
worry
a
about it
normal
right now,
heartbeat
but
is
down
the
the
way
line...
to put it. It's very low. Very faint.
Okay, down the line, it doesn't have to be right now, but Miss Eyre will probably want to take some basic readings of your body,
Mhm.
things like blood pressure, your heart rate, try to get a baseline for what your body is normally at when it is at rest. And then that way we know if you come back and your heart rate is too slow or too high, we know to try to do other things.
All right.
I know you had a potion thing that you showed me earlier. Do you know if other potions work still?
Oh. You know what? I think. Well, I did make other remedies while I was still back in my home plane, I guess. So they work, but they don't work very well. Not that I'm a lot less
Yeah,
effective than
since
I remember.
since you're undying, have you tried to use them and they've helped at all?
I did in a panic when I lost my hand.
Oh.
The flow of the fluid lessened a little bit, enough where I can get a handle on things, but
Okay.
even something as potent as my own supply didn't seem to do as much as I thought it would normally.
That's good for us to know, though. In a pinch, if I have to, I know that I'll be able to administer a potion to you, and that it, if I spend my time doing that instead of, trying something else.
Right.
Not wasting.
It should take
valuable
effect,
time.
though. It may not be a lot, so we're good to know, I suppose.
It might be useful once you're stabilized to help speed up your recovery in the moment. Most potions are applied immediately after or shortly after serious injury. It's generally when they take the best effect.
Okay. It seems to ring true for when we would drink our own remedies as well, just to ease the pain, more or less. So, at least there's some parallels there.
Well, is there anything else you think I should need to know for now? If there's anything else that you tell Miss Eyre, I'm certain she'll have a file written up on it that'll be shared amongst all of the nurses.
I suppose another thing, so that medical is aware. Iris knows this as well. But, back when I guess before, or I guess after I died, more or less, let's just not play around it. Anything that was from before I died, I suppose. Like, I still remember how to do what I do, and I kind of treat it as like my first life, and this is the second one. So the further back I try to think on things from the first life, let's say, I can, but sometimes it requires a lot of focus, I guess. And sometimes I will fall unconscious if it's too much. The only reason I know that is the amount of times I try to think back to the night I died and how many times that happened. I would black out for I don't know how long and then just kind of wake up again. I'm not sure what I'm like in that state, though.
Okay. Well, we'll try to keep an eye on it. If you think it's about to happen or you feel yourself falling unconscious like that, maybe try to let someone nearby know, and that way we can keep an eye on you, and not only just making certain that you're okay, we can also then observe and try to better understand what's happening there. The memory thing, to be honest, actually, you and I actually have a lot in common in that regard.
What makes you say that?
Kirby Knight is now hosting my stream with 28 viewers.
We've both died before?
Oh, I think you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Shattering? Something like that, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, Just
alright.
like you can't really remember things that well. I can't remember them at all, really.
Alright. It seems to happen more with things that were never directly related to like my job. Like I know how to hunt, I know how to use weapons, all that stuff, but I know I had a family. I don't remember their names, unless I decide to sit right here, right now, and actually think about it. But I know I had a family. There are a few things about my armor that I don't quite remember.
Probably.
Like I know I remember I pointed out these stones on my armor for what they were for, but
Should probably offer
there's
to him.
more to it, and I know that, but I don't know what will happen if I try to think about it either. I don't want to fall. I don't want to black out in a hallway, let's put it that way. I could have decided to try to think about it right then and there when we talked about it, but I didn't want to freak everybody out if I just kind of, fell over.
I
That would have been a scene,
understand.
especially in the midst of a lockdown.
You don't.
Was it during the lockdown? I don't remember.
I guess what I'll offer to you is, as somebody who's also been dealing with this a lot, if you ever want to talk about it, just let me know. I'm here pretty much all of the time. I generally, I try not to think about it too much because I get worked up if I do, and then I get anxious.
Like the flashes and stuff you've mentioned before, they just kind of, they can be overwhelming.
I don't know about. I don't even remember those incidents.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you mentioned that. Like you kind of
I just.
switch. Like
How to put this?
people have described like a different person or like a different demeanor is what you I think kind of described more or less before. If I might be mistaken, though.
Yeah.
Or you call somebody by a different name.
What I'm
I think was
trying
another
to
one.
say is that I know it can be distressing from personal experience. So, if you ever need help, or just someone to listen.
Thank you. Means a lot.
Yeah. It sucks. But I've had people
It's not the truth.
help me, so.
Well, I suppose if there's ever anything I could do to repay you in that aspect, just let me know.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do, what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
Like I said before, with while you're not a fighter, you seem to know something about a blade, and I'm willing to help you with that. Go at your own pace, see if anything comes from it.
Yeah, like I said before, my dad told me I used to know how to fight with one. He apparently taught me, but I like I said before, I don't remember anything. So it is.
How often do you see your father?
Maybe once every other month or so. He's very busy, so.
I see. Well, maybe ask him about it. See what he'll tell you. Not asking him to give you the weapon, but
I have. Yeah, he said he actually has my old sword because he said he found it. Don't know where.
found it.
Yeah, a bunch of the. My sword was found along with.
Okay.
Basically.
Along with your whatever happened.
No, actually, they told me that things were spread out, like multiple planes sort of spread out.
How does that happen?
I don't know. I really don't. But
It's quite the revelation to be told about.
Yeah, I'm just thankful that good people found them, and you know. Again, like I said before, it is what it is. I can't do much about it right now. So, but that's... I'm trying to help. And thought, you know, maybe it would
And I
help
thank
as
you
well.
for it, so
Yeah.
I guess it's... I do want to try to help as best I can here and prove my worth as well, but it, I guess, kind of bleeds in a little bit of what I already knew what to do. I defend those who maybe can't defend themselves, or I guess in some ways maybe choose not to, you know? It was on us to defend them, so... In my own perspective, it's kind of like a duty to do so. Make sure people like you are safe.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, was there anything else you needed to tell me about, your conditions or anything else like that?
At the moment, probably not. The only other thing would be showing you what I look like, but
And again,
other than
you
that...
don't have to do that. If the
Other than that, I'm not too
if
sure.
an incident ever happens and you're brought in and either myself or someone else having to see, I'll do my best to be prepared for that. I'll be respectful, of course. I wouldn't imagine ever trying to judge someone for something like that.
Right. I understand. No, that's...
Especially if it's not your fault.
Iris told me that it just may take time for people to kind of get used to things they don't quite understand.
Yeah.
And I could, or maybe this is just my perspective, but I could kind of tell Hybris was also taken aback from what she saw, probably not expecting it, you know?
I mean, some things are startling. You know, you don't expect something, or
That's probably the best way
maybe
to
you
put
have
it.
an idea. Maybe you make assumptions, and then you find out stuff like cranium rats. You weren't expecting it. They don't seem
Like a
bad necessarily.
hive-minded rat.
Yeah, like well, maybe that's not the
Goodness.
best example. Like the Almirage thing, the bunny unicorn thing. Like it's maybe not something terrible. Maybe it's something really nice and good, and maybe it just catches people off guard and they don't know what to think at first.
Perhaps. That's probably a pretty good analogy. But
Yeah.
just something that will come with time, I'm sure. Who knows? Maybe at some point I'll be more comfortable and actually show what I am, but for the most part, don't be surprised if you only see me in this.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Actually, now that I think about it, is it a medical note if you need to know if I need to eat or drink anything? Like things like that, like nourishment? Is that something you would need to be privy to as well?
Would be good to know. I don't
Right.
need to, but
Well,
I don't know.
nor do I. Eating and drinking will do nothing for me. It's
Oh,
more of a
okay.
me thing if I choose to. So things like the
Yeah, I
tea, while they
understand
are
that as well.
delicious, they will not provide any sort of benefit, I should say.
It's funny, I guess we've never really talked about it much, but we have a strange amount of things in common.
Well, it's not something I like to just go around and talk about that I don't need to eat or drink, because then if I have to lift my visor.
Yeah, and then, yeah.
So,
I see.
so don't be alarmed if you see me turn around and then turn back.
And of course, I wouldn't,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. No, I understand. That being said, if, again, whatever you're comfortable with, don't feel pressured.
It's all right. No, I know I'll come to it on my own terms. It would take a hell of a lot to pressure me to reveal myself anyway. I think I could handle quite a bit. As long as they don't burn me. Oh god. Oof.
Yeah. Self-acceptance is the first step to overcoming something that you find, how do they put it? Like, unpleasant or something you dislike about yourself. Coming to understand it.
That's probably accurate.
Maybe? I don't know, I'm still learning
Perhaps.
a lot about all this stuff and
It's all right.
technology and all that.
Yeah, it's
There's a bunch of sayings
reason-
about
yeah.
people being...
The main reason I dislike it, though, at least what I am, is because, at least for what we did back home, is that to die to our quarry, in this case, think the beast that your friends have fought along the way, and they've gotten gravely injured or things like that. For us, if we were to die to our quarry, that's the highest honor one could achieve. And then you return to the earth, armor and all, and as if that is where you were meant to go. And as such, you can see that I kind of defied that somehow or some way, so in that sense, my honor was stripped of me, so to be cursed with a hunt that won't end is the way it's kind of described.
Oh, that's... I think I kind of get it. I'm not obviously familiar with the culture of the B-Sons, but I guess I understand why that would be unpleasant and hard for one to
Right.
to accept, I guess. Maybe
Yeah,
there's
there's
something
not
I'll be
much-
able to do about it one day, or I don't know.
Perhaps. Haxian said the same thing. See if I can defy what is already known if I ever went back, but truth be told, I have no idea what would happen if I did. Or at least went back to civilization in the Beastlands, let's put it. I'm not sure how they would react, because, I mean, the first dead giveaway is nobody sounds like this. So that's already the first off-putting thing.
Oh.
I sound like two different
I
people.
usually just don't ask. I've met a number of people with strange sounding voices, or unusual, I suppose is the more proper way to
Perhaps
put it.
perhaps it's known here. No one's ever asked about why I sound the way that I do. But that's probably something I did give some thought about too, is that I wonder if maybe you might know this since you've been around in this level of, I guess we'll call it technology, things like that. Are there things that could change how one sounds? Like their voice, for that matter. Make it sound like something else.
Think so. I don't know how any of them work by any means. To be
Of course,
honest, I'm
that's
not
only
very
something I would pursue.
technologically
Well,
adept.
you're further along than I ever am at this point until I get my own phone, I think they're called, so.
Well, if
I guess I'm gonna need it.
when you do, just let me know. I'm more than happy to try and help teach you. Took me a
Anything I
while
need to
to
know about
get the grasp of it.
Anything I need to know about a phone now before I get it?
If it starts making noises and vibrating, that's probably someone trying to call you if it keeps doing it.
Okay.
And then if it stops and then starts again later, someone's probably still trying to contact you.
Okay.
Best practice is to hold it up by your head. There's don't know if you know what these are, but there's a microphone and a speaker, and the speaker is what helps you hear the other person, and the microphone is what you speak into so that they can hear you, and the phone then somehow takes all of that and sends your voice to them, and then your voice, their voice is received by your phone, and then you can hear them through the speaker. It's pretty cool. You can do a lot of interesting things with phones. Like I've been getting acquainted with music with mine. Music.
Really?
you can take pictures with them. I guess, given what I've picked up about the relative level of technology of your people, most artwork is through painting or sketches, perhaps.
For the most part, though, there were... what was this deal? There was some crazed individual from the research sort of circle that is the one that they either look into beasts, how they behave, react to certain things. That's their whole entire purview, or like maybe technological discovery, thing like that. So there was a
researchers, though.
Crazed researchers, right? There was a crazed individual with some kind of object that I saw him hand to a few hunters to try, and some sort of replacement for us sketching things. Does that sound familiar with what that could have been?
Possibly.
It sounds like when you...
Sounds like, basically would they, okay, if... okay. Would they take that object, or, we would call it, I guess, a device, and point it at, a subject that they want to sketch, and then they do something with the device, and then suddenly they're able to show you an image that is an exact copy of what they were looking at?
That's exactly what it did.
That is a camera. Probably a bit different than the cameras that are on the phone.
Large box. It was like that big. Very cumbersome.
Well, here technology is, I guess, well, not I guess, it's more advanced, and they've made things smaller, and things can do more things, so, my camera is a part of the phone, and it is this big. I can hold it in one hand.
That is extremely convenient. And you can
take pictures,
call and talk to people like you mentioned before with something that's
you can
small.
Call people, you can send people messages, like text, written
I've heard
word.
the term.
Yeah.
My God, that sounds so convenient. If only we had that.
I don't want to.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. Basically writing letters to people, but it's nearly instantaneous.
Yeah. Okay.
Calling people is like talking to someone, except almost they're far away, but they're right next to you. Cameras, which, as a note, basically, Ebenlock, how he sees, because he isn't biological. Basically, his eyes are the camera. He's able to see using cameras. I think Hybris works the same way. I don't really know how Hybris works, because
Hybris is an enigma to me. I just know she's I'm still the equivalent of a guild master, though. That's more of an old habit to call someone that.
Foot thing.
I noticed that, but I didn't know how to bring it up. What is that? Do you know?
I asked Ion about it once, and he said it was something about just what she prefers. He said something about
in either case, she has
less materials needed, which I guess makes sense. Like, if you don't have a foot, I mean, you could...
It's just a sharpened point.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, either way, incredible balance, then. That's all I discerned from that.
Yeah. It's a bit unnerving to look at sometimes. I try not to think about it.
That's for the children, too.
Let's see.
They're all like...
I was telling you before, music. Basically, information can be stored in devices like this. So, like, one of the things I do a lot is I take notes when I'm working with patients, or like if I've given care to someone afterwards. I try to write down notes on what happened, and I send those notes to Miss Eyre, you can hold all sorts of information, except to my understanding, the way it works is it's basically everything can be simplified down to basic notes, if you will. So music could be interpreted as basically a page, like written word, and then when you turn it back, I don't fully understand how the process of going back and forth works, but all of that information, like music, your voice when you're calling someone, or the written text that you send to people, it all works. It's pretty crazy.
That is leaps and bounds over what we had, and even that alone is just enough to replace something as simple as just my notebook here. You're saying things like notes for when you're taking notes for patients, things like that, or anything else in general. Instead, it's on that small device and not some cumbersome little book that I have there.
Yeah, and well, it makes it a lot easier for sharing things too. All I have to do is
I
send
imagine.
Miss Sarah the notes that I take, and she makes what does she call them? Like she makes files for all the patients, and she keeps track of all of the notes that we take concerning their health, and if something ever happens, we can refer back to those notes, sort of like you do with your book. And
Right.
basically the same thing, but we don't use a book, we use a little block. Although, I learned about this recently. So certain phones work based off of you touching the display, basically where the image shows up. Yeah, basically everything works on the screen, and rather than you pressing like a big button or something, or a tiny button, or as they might be for some phones I've seen, like some people have older ones that have little buttons that you can press instead.
All I know is that it was I believe what as a requisition was some Aegis phone, if that helps at all. I'm not sure if that's like a unified thing. Sig showed me his. I guess it's something kind of like what his is.
I think I've seen them once,
I'm not
but I've
sure if
never
it's-
actually gotten to take a good look at them.
Some kind of expanded out some screen there. He kind of poked around on it a bit with his finger, so I imagine it will be a touch.
I've seen them from a distance. Yeah, I think I know they do touch because I've seen them using them, but mine, the screen, you're supposed to be able to touch it, but I think, well, I know now that because I'm made of non-organic material, for some reason that doesn't work. It doesn't like that. The only area that I can touch is with my fingernails, and according to what I discovered, the only reason that works as well is because the type of stone I'm made of is it sort of conducts electricity, but not well. I literally have to touch with my nails. It's a bit annoying, but it's
Interesting.
better than
That
not
means I
being
wouldn't be
able
able
use it
to
at all.
probably touch it with my glove then on here, huh?
Maybe not. I don't know.
Alright.
If you get one of the ones with the buttons, they should always work, but I didn't get one of those. My sister helped my dad get one.
Well, I did not have a say in the matter. It was just more of you're getting I can requisition you an Aegis phone, so whatever that is, I suppose that's what I will have, and
I guess
more than
it'll
likely will be
probably something
touchscreen, meaning I'll
with
probably have to take the
Alzheimer's,
glove
but
off.
She might even be able to tell you more,
It's-
considering the whole technology is sort of her thing, I think? I
Right.
don't know. I just know she knows a lot. Oh, actually, I was going to tell you that.
That she does.
Ion tried to explain the whole program thing. She's a computer program that's very advanced, but she's not like the ones in movies where they're like basically they're created for a purpose, to like do something, sort of like a tool. But she's like a very advanced tool. Like she's a machine technically, right? The machine is created to do something, but the thing that she was created to do was to collect information. That's why you can go to her and ask her all about different things, and she knows, like, a lot.
How long has Miss Hybris, like, done what she does, like collecting information? It seems like it's if you're saying she's kind of like a plethora of things, it must have been a while.
Well, actually, see, that's the thing.
It just makes me think of the older researchers where they just kind of knew everything after so many years.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You'd probably have to ask her about that, or maybe ask one of the agents that have been here for longer. They might know. But one thing I have learned about is that information is apparently really easy to get a hold of, at least basic information. As long as it's been documented. If something new, that's a bit different, but I guess that's self-explanatory. I didn't want to overwhelm you with this information, but, so there's this thing called the internet.
Okay.
And
what is that?
Basically, think about, so basically all the machines that do things like Hybris, and my phone, all of that, can all be connected using different types of communication signals. Like, that's how the messages get back and forth, and how when you call someone, your voice can go to their device, so you can talk to them. Basically, they're all connected to some degree, or can be. The internet
so
is basically
one massive, like,
basically think about it as
network couriers, like distributing information.
Sort of, except it's like really fast.
Like
even
how fast?
This,
what do you mean?
Like, okay, if I wanted to
like, put it this way, if we wanted to get information from another town or village, someone would have to make that trek, and let's say it's maybe a few days there and a few days back. There's our control. What's the internet speed?
There's nuances to it that I don't know yet, because I'm still learning this stuff. Ion would probably know more about this, but practically instantaneously, depending on what you're sending and how much of it you're sending. Like, music can take a couple seconds, but something like a quick message, like text, is practically instantaneous. The more you're sending, the longer it takes.
Okay. I think I kind of get
someone
that anyway.
Tried to explain it to me, like, two different ways. It's like an arrow, and you pull it back, and you shoot it, and they receive the message. And then they can send one back and forth, but the more that you're sending, you can only fit so much onto the arrow. And then the other explanation someone gave me is that it's like a bunch of water pipes or tubes, and the data, the information that you're sending is like water going through the tubes, but only so much water can fit in the tube at a time. So there's like a limited amount of flow. It's weird. Apparently, some people have even figured out how to get the two to mix, which is sort of what Hybris does. I don't know. Like, magic and technology sort of working in tandem to some degree. Like, I've seen some people have devices that are sort of like phones, but they're like sending stones, I've heard of. Where you can say a specific, it's almost like a magic spell, and the item is enchanted so that you can speak to the other people that have a different sort of stone that are far away.
Oh, okay. So these are the magical variant of the messaging part of things.
Yeah,
that I'm not surprised at all. With what I was reading, it seems like quite a lot is possible for those who are trained to do so.
The more you learn, the more you can do is kind of what I've learned. So that's
I
kind
guess
of
I'll
why I've
apply
been
for
trying
what we did
to
as
spend
well.
some more about technology. I've taken to looking things up on the internet when I don't know what they are, or
Right.
you can even find fun things there, like music, videos. Basically, you know the camera thing earlier?
Yes. I remember.
Okay, now imagine that camera taking those pictures, but like ridiculously fast. Like fast enough that if you viewed all of them like one after another, you would see motion. You would see how the person was moving, and then you add the sound that they were making on top of that, and it all gets recorded, and it's a video, is what they call it. Oh, God.
Oh. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot to it. I'm still learning more, but it's been useful. If you ever need help,
Definitely
I can at
seems to
least
be-
try and help you with the basics.
That would be much appreciated, especially, I guess, once I'm more or less, I guess, part of the actual core members here and have a room for myself, and it's easier to get a hold of me, so... Because for the most part, when I'm not here, I'm just kind of in my own little camp out in the woods, just kind of keeping it simple. It's what I
a
know.
great way to keep in contact with people. I've got friends that are up there, and I'm able to talk to them from, well, down there, and you know what I mean.
Right. Actually,
they're there,
I suppose...
I'm here, and I'm still able to talk to them.
Do you have a... What did Esso call it? He gave me a device as a matter for when we actually started going on these expeditions. That was, I guess, something that agents have. I guess they're called communicators. Do you have... It's some kind of like earpiece device. Do you have one of those?
I don't, but I also don't go out on missions, so it's possible that they haven't needed to give me one. I've seen them use it before. They're like little devices.
He did give me one, so I still have one.
You can put them in
It was
your
meant to
ear,
be
or
for
like place them somewhere. Like
mission.
I guess you could maybe
Right.
attach it to your armor somehow. And it's sort of like a phone, but smaller and more compact, so that way it doesn't like get lost. But that's all it does, is you can
Right.
hear other people that are connected to it, and they can hear you if you talk to them. That's
Right.
not all I know about it, though.
Those-
I've never actually used
Okay.
one.
He gave myself and Sig both personal communicators from when we were getting ready to get the ball rolling on these expeditions whenever they're supposed to happen. But I guess right now, until I have this phone, I guess that would be the only way to contact me outside of me being here, is if someone got one of those and contact. I know mine's, I think, linked to Esso with some small button on the bottom of it, I think.
Hybris would probably
That's what
be
he
the
told me.
best person to ask about it. Probably. I know they give phones, to my knowledge, so that's about as much as I know, though.
Right. No, that's all right. Like I said, I was kind of hoping Esso might be around today in more of a talkative mood than the last time I saw him, to see if the phone was here. Last time I saw him was when the lockdown was lifted. He did not seem to be in a happy mood.
Actually, what am I thinking? I can literally just contact Hybris from here.
You can do that?
Yeah. See, even I still have trouble with this stuff. I'm not exactly the greatest. I'm still getting used to being able to contact people whenever. I'll try and ask her if there's something I could do to help, or if there is something you need to do or ask her, because I think this is
wouldn't know.
mostly the way that she communicates with people, which I guess makes sense if she's a sort of machine lady thing. still confuses me.
She's just kind of around. Is that how it's described? Because I know, or she can kind of appear where she likes, at least here. Because I've seen at least Reyna. Oh, the last time I saw Reyna, right, she was in the garden, and she accidentally glitched herself. I guess she called it into the ground. She was like halfway in the ground, right? And she was saying she could spool, which I guess returns her to the terminal just outside at any moment. So I guess that means they just can.
I don't understand how they go from the whole physical thing to the computer stuff.
No, I don't either. That's just what she explained she could do.
What I do know is that basically using those the tube things, the internet, they can literally get anywhere around here. Like, I don't know what all of those are for, but I think they're able to get over to them because they're able to basically they're able to move through those tubes because in effect they are like the they're those pages. They're the information on the pages, like I told you before. Right. Or they're able to find themselves. It's very confusing. I don't get it.
It's an extremely complex topic to the point where I just kind of smile and nod, be like, I will understand as much as I need and take my time with it.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully she gets back to me, and maybe I can give you an answer.
Alright. Oh, I guess, before you put your phone away, how much time do you have? We've been talking for quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Have you accidentally fall over on the table there?
I have about a half an hour.
Okay. Do you want to start making your way back to your room now? Or
probably. I don't know if the others are still awake. I
have no idea where Rika or Shiro even went. They might have left, I have no idea. They were over there by the books when we walked in, but...
Yeah, I saw Shiro over there. I think she was maybe checking out some of the books herself.
Yeah. Well...
They seem really nice, though.
In that case...
I'm not worried
that's
about
right. I did not get the impression that they would be trouble or anything like that either, so...
Well, I guess we could go look for them, if you want to talk to them. Otherwise, yeah, I'll probably be making my way back to my room soon. So I don't want to...
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see where everybody is, or if there's anybody left, and if not, I'll make sure you get to your room.
Oh.
So you don't fall over in the hallway like you've described.
Well, you can also make them not make noise. I usually just...
Oh.
You can leave it on vibrate. So it just shakes a little when you get, like, messages, which...
Convenient.
She says there are some in the lab, and she says if I get you one, if I send her... I don't know what an SN is. I'll ask her before I do that. Oh, it's cool. I guess we could get you one. She says she can help with the initial setup, and then you'll be able to use it as much as you need.
Alright, well.
And what is this SN number? Question mark. Serial number. Don't know what that means either, but that's more of an answer. Maybe we can figure it out.
Possibly.
Hello. How are you? How are you two tonight?
Doing alright.
Doing pretty well. Just been sitting, having a nice conversation. How about yourself?
Sounds good. Oh, I just,
Just came up, say hello, grab myself a drink, you know. Gotta get started somewhere, right?
As always, have you seen anybody else around in the cathedral? We've been here for quite a while, so we have no idea.
Ooh, I'm honestly don't think I have, actually. Been relatively quiet. I mean, I took a little walk down to the garden and back. But
Was there anybody in there?
No,
Oh.
nothing. It's a very, very quiet place. Even the training room, no one's there. Wow.
Oh, perhaps Shiro and Rika had departed already.
Maybe.
Have you met them before? The Shiro and Rika? Those names ring a bell at all?
Shiro and Rika. I feel like I've heard those names before, but that could be the shows that I've watched.
Shiro, taller, horns, had a studded club on her back, robed, kind of like an armored shoulder, or armored forearm. Rika...
Is it from that? Is it from the that anime? What's it called? No. Wait, no,
No,
never mind. Sorry, we're talking about real people here. Real people here.
These are
yeah.
two real people that were here today.
They
along
got
with,
here like 2 days ago. Apparently Rika's gonna be recruited, I guess. I don't know the details, but Shiro is like here just kind of keeping an eye on her for now. I don't know. They come from the same place, and I guess Shiro is helping her. I don't know. If we see her around, I can point her out, I guess. We should probably
Splendid.
do
If they're
that
still
thing
here,
before it gets much later.
Right.
Also, what the heck?
Or... Rika's maybe about your height or Arbor's height, kind of tiger striped actually like a
Tiger
cat like person. I'm not sure what, did she say what she was specifically?
I was actually having a conversation with Ashra about this just the other day. There's a handful of different names for people like that, but basically people like Ku, who are like part person, part animal, are usually referred to as demi-humans or beastkin. Basically, they're like animal people, I guess. I don't know. Maybe you can correct me.
No, you're on the money there, to be honest.
She's
with
like
you.
she's like a tiger person. I don't know.
Damn.
Tiger
That's
stripes,
pretty
the whole
cool.
thing.
Can't say I've met one of those.
She's got like
Nor have I, so
almost like tiger legs, where the what is the term?
like a cat's
like there's an
hind legs,
extra there's like an
whatever.
extra joint, and then like her toe is like a short pad.
Man,
So
that's really
whereas
that's
it looks
cool.
like you have more like
Yeah, I'm more on the human side.
yeah, there seems to be a range, but yeah, she's like that.
Quite.
I was actually thinking about that because it's like you're like dogkin, I think is what we called it. She would be like a
Basically, I mean
tigerkin maybe or something. And then
I mean, it doesn't really matter. I don't
said
really
would
care
be
personally.
like a gemkin, which I thought sounded really funny.
I mean, it kind of is.
But I think I know the area she was talking about, so we can head down there. I think. Yeah.
Sure, if you would like.
I'll
get this over with before you need to go back to your room.
Yeah.
Excuse us, Ku.
All right, I bid you both a good night.
There we go.
There you are.
Have you been down here before, or?
One time.
Okay. I've been down here a couple of times, but I don't usually spend much time around here because I don't usually know what to do down here.
Nor do
Most
I.
of the equipment and stuff confuses me. Like, I have no clue what these things are. They're just kind of loud, really. Not a big fan.
I didn't decide to ask Essa what they were when we were walking down here. The only other time I was down here was when Essa grabbed myself and Sig to talk about these research expeditions. He actually brought me into this room here.
You said it was the restricted area, so I guess we're okay to come in
Then
here?
I will.
I would assume that you're
Or
okay.
should I wait here?
I don't know. I don't know. She just said that I go in there to.
I would
There's a
probably ask
box
before
of
we get in
these
trouble.
little boxes.
I'll wait here to be safe, because...
Okay. I mean, I don't hear any alarms going off, so.
That's not to say anything's happening.
True. Very true. I think I don't think I've actually been back here before. It's a little scary. But I think I see boxes that she mentioned. I think this is it.
An anonymous user
It's just
gifted
a
a
small
tier
box.
1
Possibly.
sub to Dominic the Wolf.
Opening it up, inside is one of the little closed phones. I can send you a model for it later if you want.
Do that. Oh, well. That it?
Yeah, that looks like one of them, I guess. Like I said, I've only ever
So-
seen them from a distance. I've never actually gotten to take a good look at one.
So what else? Did she say what else we'll need to do?
I have
To
to send
make it
her a
work?
number, and then she said she could handle the rest. So I guess once you turn it on, she can do something with it? I don't know.
Okay.
Is there maybe a number on the lid? Or, I didn't see anything on that side. Maybe on the other side of the box?
Kind of flip it over. On that
There's just
side.
some labels.
What about that? Maybe that look familiar?
I think, actually...
An anonymous user
there
gifted a
is
tier
an-
1 sub to guardsman_Joe.
I think that's it. SN.
Oh, there you go.
Do you think you could read out that number? If I
Sure.
send that to her?
I mean, of course. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, and go ahead.
Let's see here. 94 36 L8 B9
Was that a B or...
04 B as a B, boy.
Okay, B9 you said?
Correct. 0932.
Okay, and hopefully that works. She might have something else for you later, I don't know.
I suppose we'll find out if it starts talking to me.
Oh, I guess? I don't know, mine doesn't usually... Maybe she'll send you a message to it if she knows. Because, to my knowledge, she, like, has these produced? Like she made them, but then someone else actually builds them. Like she designed them. Like she made them.
I
like
see.
It's hard to explain.
I was not aware. I guess it's kind of foolish of me to think that she couldn't make something like this when I guess she kind of runs this whole station, huh?
I don't know.
I'll just put it in the pack that he has.
She says once you turn it on,
do I need
she'll
to-
be able to set it up for you. She said she'll send a message to it to confirm once it's done.
Oh,
So I
guess
guess,
I'll just
once
do
you
that now, then.
turn it on,
or
she says to make certain that you know to make certain it stays charged. Okay, yeah. Batteries. Do you know what batteries are?
no.
Okay. I'll try to explain it in the easiest way that I know. Basically, do you know electricity? Like the stuff that makes the lights stay on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. More or less.
Basically we've figured, well, I can't say I had any part in this. People have figured out how to make electricity using basically chemical interactions. Science.
Oh, okay.
So they have basically little boxes, or like basically it's a portable energy source for devices. And there should be mine has something like this. Basically there should be in that box somewhere probably a thing that you can plug into a wall, although if you're living out in the woods that might be a problem.
Well, I mean, I have to go to a little place nearby to even get here, so I'm sure there's something there.
Yeah, because that'll probably, in the future, maybe the easier way to request to come up here, rather than having, I don't know if you're doing it currently, but you probably have to, because I know people have to ask to come up here. I don't know the details about that, but again, she said she can help you more with it once it's done setting up, which once you turn it on,
well, I guess...
there's probably a button on it somewhere to turn the device on.
Alright.
I don't know these things very
Takes
well.
the device out of the box. Did that do it?
Little green light turns on. Starts blinking. Oh?
That
It's doing something. Probably. I don't know how it's going to do anything like that, but we'll trust that Iris knows what to do, because she knows this stuff better than we do.
Right. I guess I'll just kind of put it back in its box and close it and just let it do its thing.
Yeah, if it starts making noises, or if it makes like a little like ringing kind of like noise, like a... If it makes noise, maybe check on it. There might be something. Otherwise, maybe the next time you come here, somebody else could probably show you more or help you with it, because I think I have too much more time.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, we should probably make sure you get to your room then.
Yeah, I gotta head back up there. So, hopefully that helps.
We'll make sure you get there safely.
Thanks.
We'll see. I mean, it'll definitely be easy to get in contact with people, even myself.
Definitely. Once it's set up and you know how to use it, you're more than welcome to send me messages anytime you need something. Or if you just want to talk, I guess.
Sure.
It's kind of one of the weirdly nice things about them, is that you don't have to have a reason to contact somebody. You can just want to say hello, and you can. Like, I do that with a couple of friends from time to time. I just send them a message to check on them and say hello. Because given my condition and everything, I can't exactly go places that frequently.
Definitely very convenient. I can understand that already. Here we are.
Oh.
I suppose the station's going to rest, I know. So.
I guess, or I don't know. It's not that late in the evening, but maybe people are just taking the night or just spending time with friends and family. I don't know.
Perhaps.
An expert in these things, I am not. Well, I should have enough time to get to my room. Like, I haven't felt like dizzy or anything yet. That'll probably come in the next 10 to 15 minutes or so, but thanks.
I'll make sure you at least get to your room. I've come this far. The least I can do.
I
I'll find my way out.
Thanks.
You've been more than a help today, so I should pay it forward a little bit.
Thanks. I'm always happy to help. Especially if it's with things that I know are confusing. I know I've struggled with things enough, so if I can help someone not have to struggle as much, I mean, seems pretty worth the trouble to me.
It's just been a while since I've had any sort of like group of comrades that I can rely on. So it's nice to finally find a place that might be the case again.
The people here are a bit wild sometimes, but
You could say that.
in the end, they all really are nice people. Some of the guests, maybe not so much, but at the end of the day, it's safer than most places, so...
I've gotten that vibe already. At least the people who call this place home,
Yeah.
they seem I can more or less understand them and get along with them. Like you said, the guests tend to be the crazier ones anyway. I've already heard some insane stories.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, thanks, and I'll see you soon, hopefully. Good luck with the phone thing.
Right. Well, have a good night, Arbor.
You too. See you around. Oh, boy. Oh. Well. Well, that was not the worst day at all.